Alright, so welcome everybody to another beginner SSF playthrough. I had a poll on YouTube, as well as a poll here on Twitch, right? So the poll on YouTube is basically 54% complete Trickster, and the other one was like, yeah, also Trickster at place number 1 and Vitality Totem Ritualist in spot number 2. So we're gonna basically play a Bleed Trickster today, right? So, I will call us one even beginner Sandy, Andy, Mandy, Dandy, Blandy, Bleeder, I don't know. Beginner tips and tricks. You can't even write the and here. Alright, so this is gonna be, of course, as always, hardcore. The question is, should we play veteran or not? I mean, I did some veteran playthroughs, I did some non-veteran playthroughs. I feel like the veteran, and what does it do? It does make the game a little bit slower, or the game a little bit harder. But honestly, if you know what you're doing, veteran is like just like additional waste of time, right? So we could just, I don't know, just play a standard veteran, like without veteran. Should make this really challenging and play the league mod, also fun leveling with all the ghosts. We could actually also do that, but I mean, we're gonna do that, I guess, anyway, right, when the next league starts, right? And yeah, then like everybody who's like not playing the league is gonna be like, why they got so much more loot than I do, like, maybe, right? I don't know. My girlfriend's penis is too large for my throat. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on, Big Mac. That's literally exactly what's going on. Yo, Ashenwood, welcome on, welcome on. Veteran. We could play veteran, I guess. Right, why not? Okay. So we create this character and we just start the game, right? There's no other character here, there's no gear and any stash whatsoever here, so let's make like a full, fresh playthrough.
Ah, I've been expecting you, human.
Yo, NNY Cooper, welcome on, welcome on. Thanks for the prime. Thanks so much for the support. Yo, Zapley, welcome on, welcome on. And Farnsworth, welcome, welcome on. Alright, so you start the game here, you talk to this guy, you don't talk to him, doesn't really matter actually. And yeah.
You're not look the bot, you will.
We can get this lore note here on the side, right? The crudely scrolled note. Get a little bit like of an XP boost here early on. And then just like smack some of these zombies with a club, because that's what you do in this game. Or you're lucky and just get a gun right away here, right? And then shoot these guys. We already have that stream RNG activated, it seems like, already on the first corpse in the game. And then once you hit level 2, you should, if you want to play a Bleed Trickster, basically start with Shaman and start with the Warring Swarm, right? So let's do that. This is not necessarily like high single target, just like a AoE dot that you can like put on your enemies, right? Yeah, it's gonna take a while in veteran. Like Act 1 veteran is gonna feel like a slog. If you're not playing veteran, then these guys are gonna like die a lot quicker. But nevertheless, the Warring Swarm should be able to like just carry you fine. I'm gonna like put some more points here to like actually kill all of these with like one cast and not have to like recast twice, like recast once here. Not the bees. The bees, the swarm bees. Alright, about items, right, about loot filter. GRIMTOOLS has a loot filter, right? Like a built-in loot filter, you can just click on the symbol over here. And then just remove commons right away, because commons are literally trash. You should always like have this one ticked, because double rares are always good. And then the magic, right, the yellow items, they become useless rather quickly as well in this game compared to maybe other RPGs. But you can keep them like until around level 15 to 20-ish, I would say. Depends though. And I'm probably gonna just put all points here, honestly. If you're playing hardcore, you can like roughly try to follow the rule of 100 to 120 points of HP per level. And you can also follow the rule of like putting 1 point to your stat bar and like 2 points to a skill of your choice every level, or like at least 1 point to your stat bar and 1 point to like the bar down here per level. That's usually what I would advise, and then the third point can go either to a skill if you already have a skill enabled that you want to play, or go down to the bar as well if you want to like reach a skill that you want to play quicker. However, yo, Xotox, thanks for resub as well. Welcome back, thanks for the 2 months. However, sometimes if you feel like you don't need more HP, or like you don't want to like go to another skill, you can just like pump all the points of like the skills you want right away. Yo, Iway, thanks for the sub as well. Welcome on. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. If we're playing my Captain Karen build, great fun. I think I should double the damage against single target though, like the Doom build. Yeah, maybe. So here in Act 1, right, you just want to get the next Rift Gate, of course. Don't forget to rescue Faldus. It's gonna give you like some additional scrap for like saving him, so... He's a chill guy, right? Let's just save him. He deserves to be saved. Just found a YouTube channel recently, you guys have taught you so much, give it up. Glad you enjoyed the content, and welcome on. So, what else can we do, right? We have this arm that you can get from Barrock, right? The guy that we defeated under the tree here. This item's not a 100% guaranteed drop, but it is a drop that you can get, and if you get it, you'll probably just use it, honestly, if you're playing a Shaman, because as a Shaman, you wanna, like, if you want to bleed Shaman, then using Savagery instead of your default attack is fine. And it's like a decent filler, and it does give you like some additional like bleed damage overall, which does improve like your Devouring Swarm as well. Yo, Cross Skill, thanks for the prom as well. Welcome on. Thanks for the resub. And Bubba Dash Moves here as well. Welcome on, guys. Stay with us. I mean, we want to use like either a shield or offhand. We're not gonna dual wield on this Trickster pretty much ever. Even though we are playing a Nightblade secondary, right? We're gonna play a Nightblade secondary. We aren't really gonna dual wield a lot, I think. Maybe if we find some like perfect bleeding items, but honestly, bleeding doesn't really scale that well with like dual wielding, so there's not really any reason to do this like as a dual wielder. So we're gonna put some more pawns here, and then maybe like 1 pawn down here. I kind of want to save points for Nightblade as well though, because honestly, once you're like level 10, you just want to like start working on Nightblade. I mean, you can also go for Grasping Wand still, like that's also still fine. Like it does still bleeding damage, right? But other than that, Shaman, it has a Devouring Swarm early, but after that it's like not even that great for bleed, like in mid game. And Nightblade has like proper bleeding nukes, right? Like Nightblade has Circle of Slaughter as well as the Blade Spirits, and those are amazing for bleed. We're gonna like probably respec after Act 1 once we have a certain shield in Act 6, I mean Act 7 from Forgotten Gods anyway. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's gonna take a while on Veteran. Like, Veteran is just pretty slow early game. Maybe I don't have any more points, right? Yeah. And there's nothing else you can do here really at this level in Veteran. Like you can just clap him down with Savagery as a 1-pointer and like use the Devouring Swarm debuff. It's gonna take a while, always, no matter what you do, kind of. Yo, Blender, welcome on. Don't forget to get all of these shrines, right? Shrines are very important because they basically like enable your 3rd mastery, which is the devotions, right? You can look at devotions as basically like a 3rd mastery. Now when it comes to gear, right? Like looking at these items, generally, I mean, as a bleeding build, you do want to look for % bleeding damage, of course, for damage. Other than that, just like look for resistances. resistances are very important in this game, so even in software, you want to max out your resistances at all costs. I mean, not at all costs, but like you want to have max resistances at some point anyway, like all of the max. So should work on that. Now, when it comes to attributes, right? I mean, putting points of physique is never bad. Putting points of spirit on a bleeding build is gonna be pretty bad, because spirit only scales like your energy regeneration as well as your magic damage, and bleed is not magic damage, right? It is one of the like non-magic damage types, which are physical, internal trauma, bleeding, and pierce damage. So yeah, you can put like a healthy mix of cunning and physique, right? Cunning is gonna scale that bleeding damage. Also, cunning is your offensive ability, which makes it easier for you to crit stuff. Physique, well, gives you health and regeneration, and makes it harder for enemies to crit you. And ideally, you want like DA high enough so that you are never getting crit, which you are still here. I mean, veteran early game is just brutal, honestly. And on the other hand, you want like cunning high enough so that you always crit, which we can't yet either because we're playing veteran. Yeah, that's actually brutal. Oh well. Yo, simple call me Joe. Welcome. 1066. Oh yeah, what is 1066? Is it like some number that I should know? Is it like a number that Americans know? Let's welcome an Illuminator. GRIMTOOLS 1. Later. Ideally, not now. So yeah, we're like still gonna put like 1 point down here, 2 points to Devouring Swarm every level from now on. It's the number of builds that Madly published. 1066, not builds. In the year 1066. In the year 1066. Oh, that's the number that Europeans should know then, right? And not Americans. Why do I not know it? I mean, feel free to enlighten me. Like I can't remember it right now. What 1066 was actually. What was that? 1066. Oh, Hastings. Okay. Battle of Hastings. Is that the Normans already? Is that when the Normans defeated the Saxons, or is that later? So it is when the Normans defeated like the Saxons, basically. It is when England became French, yeah. Like when it became like, I mean, not really like they didn't like become French, right? The Normans weren't like the French, but I mean they came from France. They came from Normandy, of course. And you could say that, but I wouldn't say that's like what should I mean. So this guy, dude, like Melton Heart. Yikes, dude. He actually did lots of damage at this like veteran stage. Yeah, I mean, as I said, like veteran early game is just brutal. And you can just run around, like apply your swarm. That's kind of like all you can do here for now. Single target is kind of horrible, not gonna lie. Yep, but we did it. Yeah, place 8% bleeding damage, Pog. Or Fizzle Pierceness. Honestly, I mean, it doesn't really matter what you take here, to be honest. In general, I would say resistances are better, but like at this very early stage of the game, sometimes percent damage can also be better because like your percent damage has not reached a level where like plus 10 or plus 20% is negligible. Whereas plus 10 resistances between 0 and 10 is like not that big of an increase than say from 70 to 80%, right? If you take a look at devotions over here, you want to basically like work towards Falcon first, right? Falcon is like your first active bleeding devotion that you can use. So yeah, we're just gonna like go for that right away, I think. Let's put 2 more here and 1 down here. Edward the Confessor died and Harold Godwin's son was appointed King of England. Harold Hardrada, King of Norway, and William the Bastard, Duke of Normandy, simultaneously invaded England. William the Conqueror, eh? That's the guy, right? At least I know that guy. Also, there's a offhand, right? An offhand that is guaranteed to drop from this corpse over here every single time. And that always covers Conjuring Bone. And honestly, early game, it is fine to use like in every single build. If you can use it, which I can't even do right now, because this... Oh, this one gave me Spirit, okay. Now there are components in this game, right? Components can be used in pretty much every single slot of your gear. Like for example, we could put some polished emerald here on this ring. This will probably still not give me enough Spirit, right? No, it won't. But that's fine. I also don't want to use like points into Spirit for reasons that I mentioned earlier, right? We're gonna like continue putting points to Cunning and or Physique and not put a single point in Spirit, I think. We're gonna get like the required Spirit to like wear gear from our masteries, or we simply just don't use that gear because we don't want to really use it often later anyway. We're probably gonna use a shield which needs Physique, so that's fine. Yo, tip tap tap, how are you doing? Also early game, at least in Veteran, honestly like your pot management can be kinda rough as well. Like you might run out of like energy or have pots. But you know, there's actually no shame in buying pots early game in this game. I think it's fine. You could just go to a random vendor in Devil's Crossing and just buy pots, that's fine. You can do that. You're gonna have like more than enough pots later on. Also, if you're like actually new to this game, like just exploring is fine too, right? There are like some smaller like side zones or setters that I'm skipping here because they don't really... They're not really like important for like progression. But they're still like fun places to look out for, and there's some lore attached to them, so you can like always go there if you want to. Now once you have the Foggy Bankrupt, and you have killed... I mean, don't forget to like kill Milton Hart, right? He's like either spawning this or this house. Then don't forget to like kill Gilius and Negan, like those 2 zombies. And hopefully I've also like killed Pharos earlier in the dump. And then here in the Foggy Bank, you also want to make sure to go down into this Sliff Cave. Also there's actually great XP, right? If you're playing Devouring Swarm and you're like standing next to these like holes or that stuff like spawn out of, you can get like insane XP and just like by pressing the Devouring Swarm button once. It's insane. Not gonna do the Ren and Chillhard tech for Ring Steel Bleed, maybe.
I've been expecting you.
You could do that, like Chillhard is also a like guaranteed drop basically. Yo, Kevin 97 rather. Thanks for the prime, welcome up. Thank you so much for your support. It's a pet build. Yeah, I mean pet blade spirits are, I mean bleed blade spirits are kind of a pet build, right? In a way. Alright. And we got 2 devotion points here, right? Let's continue working on that Falcon. Let's get some XP here as well. We can also like always just port out of this, right? And like go back to Foggy Bank, that's fine. On the other hand, I don't want to go back to Foggy Bank, I just want to go back to Devil's Crossing. And like to use to just like progressing. Which is fine, but if you're like playing on your very first character,
I need some time to...
you do want to hand in this quest, and you do want to hand in this quest with the Aether Crystals, right? And then you really want to get like 5 scrap to go to the setter here, right? because the seller quest is gonna give you extended inventory, right? It's gonna give you like another back slot here, so that's really important early going. Otherwise you might have to like go back to shops to sell your stuff like way more often than you really want to. So we're gonna sell, I think, everything here apart from... I mean, this one has energy regen, right? And energy regen, it's something I still do somewhat need right now. I wanna save this offhand though, right? I need like a little bit more spirit. I need to like find another of these like polished emeralds up to like 80 spirit as well. Now we have 3 scrap, right? If you rescue Faldos, he's gonna give you another scrap here, right? There it is, right? Plus 1 scrap. Also, if you have killed Milton, you're gonna get an amulet here. The Sister's life-giving amulet, which is decent. However, you always start your game with a salt bag, right? Do not sell that salt bag ever, even though it's like only a white item. You will need that later for a certain secret quest, so just put it in the bag here, right? There we go, like in the storage. Use Ragwrathor's horn match. Why would I use an item that's not that good when I could use an item that's better?
Greetings.
Alright, I also talked to this guy. This lady rather, right? At Sadina you can respec your skills and devotions for a like iron cost plus Aether Crystal fee, right? And we have maxed out the swarm, and I kinda wanna maybe save points for Nightblade, maybe not, not sure. I can like still invest points in Grasping Wands and Mokdogan's Pack maybe. Pet builds, pet docker, right? Alright, so we have 4 scrap right now, right? So we can also check the vendor here. And he's gonna sell us scrap number 5. Right, so you need to basically only find 3 scrap. Because you can get 1 from Faldos, and then you can get like 1 from the vendor as well. Right, so we have 5 scrap now. Let's go down to the seller. I mean, yeah, Ragwrathor's horn is okay for bleed, it's just other options are better, right? Alright, so you put more physique and cunning. Also I have enough spirit, right? No, I'm still literally missing 1 spirit, okay, but we have 1 spirit now. There we go, right? We can use this offhand now. And we could put points to either Grasping Vines or just put points to Nightblade, right? You know what, for now we just like put a point to Nightblade. Maybe actually 2. The Veil of Shadow is a pretty nice debuff around you, but honestly it's not that great or impactful for early game. Dual Blades, you can use this if you want to like dual wield, of course. You play this if you want to like play a cold build, or like you want to use Lethal Assault's buff later for a cold or acid, or like another build can convert to flat damage. What we're interested here is really only like Pneumatic Bursts, like total speed, Shadow Strike's movement ability, pierce resistance from Phantasma armor as well as armor, right, later. And then we kind of just want to like go for this and this, right? These are like the big bleeding damage abilities in Nightblade, but you can already like see they're like super deep into the tree here. So that might take a while to get there. Which honestly means we could just like also wait with Nightblade until we respec and just play like as a pure shaman until then. So for example, like, let's try out the Grasping Wands, right? They're not gonna like deal an amazing job at only 1 point. And it's also like more AoE, right? It's not really more single target damage. If you want more single target damage, you could also, I guess, just put more points to Savagery, right? That's probably the best thing you can do here. You can see like they do like negative damage right now, the Grasping Wands. Yeah, I guess like for single target you should just like pump your Savagery right now. That's probably the best thing you can do right now. When I'm rotating the camera, you're so lost on the map. I mean... what can I say? Just don't get lost. I mean, just don't rotate the camera when you're playing yourself, then, right? I'm just like too used to rotating the camera, honestly. I'm sorry. I can't really like help myself, like I can't stop myself. Also, I guess we should put more points in Augment's Pact. Because of energy reasons, right? We really have to. Yeah, it was actually a mistake, like putting the point in grass movements. Like we don't have the energy to like support it right now at all. That was pretty bad, not gonna lie. And also I haven't like even bought a single pot, which I should have. Diablo 2 style, right? Like just buy pots. I mean, this weapon with savagery is doing a decent job, right? Like, just a +2 skills to savagery. Pretty nice. Alright, we have our first totem. Now these totems are entirely optional, and you can skip them, right? You can just not click on them. If you're playing hardcore veteran, it might be wise to not click on them actually. But I mean, if you are also... If you're playing a softcore, like just click them, right? Just always click them. You don't have anything to lose apart from like... maybe some time if you die. But the loot is gonna be amazing from these anyway, right? And yeah, let's just click them, right? These will spawn enemies from the faction that the totem is from, right? This is an ancient, I mean, Forsaken Savage Totem. That's gonna like spawn, well, mobs from the Beast faction, right? From the Savage Beast faction. And these mobs are not from Act 1 necessarily, as you can see, right? Even though we are in Act 1, we're spawning some like mobs from Act 2 and 3 here as well. So these can be a little rippy compared to everything else, especially this early on. But I mean, just don't die, right? I mean, you can always like go back and forth a bit, like try to kite these guys a bit. You have dot, right? You're playing a bleed build, so you have nice dot. You can just like hit them once and run away. That's like the main benefit of like playing any dot build is like you have like the ability to kite everything. Also, yeah, I mean, look at the gear, right, that we got. It's amazing. Even have bleeding damage on these pants and resistances. And what is this belt? Yeah, pierce and lightning rest as well. Pretty good gear, right? Pretty decent. Now the problem is that I do need spirit, right? Right. This one gave me 2 spirit. Oh my god. We can put another point here again to get that spirit that we need back, right? And I guess we like put points in Mogdrogen's Pact here now. Now, Mogdrogen's Pact is one of those buff toggles, and Grim Dawn has 2 skill bars actually. You can like switch between the bars over here on this button, or just like click whatever you have like assigned us to. And then I like to put all my buffs like on one bar and the active skills on the other bar. So I like just click on all these buffs once when I like start the game and then switch back to my like the active skill bar. Yo, Atakan, welcome on. Also there's a shrine here, right? Just pick it. And we kill Wheel of the Corruptor to complete the quest that we have here, right? Which is help Barnabas with a water pump. And well, to help him with the water pump you need to kill the source of how do you say that even, like contamination of the water pump, and this guy is basically the source of that. So yep, down he goes, and we just throw away all these yellows. Honestly, you could already like stop looking at yellows right now. Like once you have done like a totem and you get like lots of green gear, and once you have like basically all your gear slots except for relic and metal filled out, like you don't want to look at this stuff, right? Like you don't need any of those. And it's worth it to sell green items in this game for iron builds, but it's really not worth it to like ever save or sell yellow items. Like yellow items are just literally trash in this game, right? And yeah, they never really like become good, so... So we have another green ring here. This cost me spirit again. That's fucking terrible. That's kind of unlucky actually, what the fuck. Alright. Let's go back to Barnabas and talk to him and get our bag slot. Emerald component. Yeah, those emerald components are really good at the game, honestly. Because they also like give you those like raw stats that you need to equip some gear sometimes. Sorry. And yeah, like the emerald is obviously terrible later, but it's very good early game.
Good. You're one of you. Follow the.
Alright, follow the road to Burbage. I also have to find Kasparov's apprentice and slay Balros and Hagra, whoever those are. And I really want to use this ring to like get insane resistances, but yeah, I can't because of me not having a second emerald in my bag right now. There are ways to like, well, save your components and gear and like put them on other gear, but for that you need this apprentice, which we haven't found yet. So until then we just need to like find a different emerald, right, a second emerald. So over here in the Foggy Bank, right, there is a vendor that can spawn, that's being like held hostage by these Slith. Also Slith are always like a great source of XP, as you can see. I mean, you can also just like equip it now because we have enough spirit from the Shaman Master Bar. And he has like, the vendor has 3 spawn locations, right? One down here, one here, and then on one on the other side. So you can just like check out all 3 locations and then you're gonna like guaranteed find him. Yo, Envy. Imagine playing Grim Dawn, right? Imagine. Welcome on. Did you get your job, by the way? Or do you not know yet? Are you gonna work as a teacher now? Pog. Alright, there it is, and spawn location number 3. There's also another like Slith cave down here that you can explore if you want to. I skipped this one, but yeah, if you are interested, check it out, Trent, check it out. There is also another secret-ish spot we can check out. I guess we also click on this totem, right, since it's already here, and we're like strong enough now. We have already like defeated another totem, so we can take this one on as well. This one also, as you can notice maybe, was just a savage totem, not a forsaken savage totem. There are basically like 3 tiers of totems, right? Just standard, like no prefix basically, and then there's like Forsaken, which are like the harder ones, and then Ancients, which are the even harder ones, right? And then the second like word will describe which faction they're like from. So Savage, as I said, is like Beast faction. Right? Yeah, what do we have here? That's more resistances, right? And we need more physique for this, sure. Where am I going, by the way? Wait, was it here or was it at... No, you have to actually go from Foggy Bank Rift, right? I went too far already, right? If you go from the Foggy Bank Rift over here, there's like a small-ish secret area. Let's not turn the camera on, right, so you can find it. So this is Foggy Bank Rift. Just like proceed west/southwest. Also pick up all the Slith necklaces you can find here, because you can hand them in for a pretty decent ring. That could also help you out early game if you don't find like good green rings already from totems. Yo, Flaters, welcome on. And yeah, you can go over here. There's even another totem. And there is also this stump here, right? Which is called Isaac's Stash. And yeah, this will always drop some loot, including Isaac's boulders, right? Which always are at least decent. I mean, yeah. My current ones aren't bad either, honestly. Because they give me spirit as well as stun, rest, and all damage. All damage includes bleed damage. But yeah, once we have like some more pawns here, for example, we could just use those Isaac's borders, right? There we go. And now you can already like see why it's pretty nice to have like more than just the basic bag. Sure, this is also plus 2 to Heart of the Wild. I think I have like at least 2 rings that give me like bonus to Heart of the Wild now, was it not? Or 2 items. Maybe it was only 1. Maybe I'm just a peg. Sure, green gloves as well. Sure, sounds good. Thunderstruck of the Aether, and Elemental RoS. I mean, you can really like see after doing like 3 totems, you have like such insane gear. Like honestly, these totems are kind of OP in our game. Let's go back to this Rift Gate here. You're gonna be playing soon enough, hopefully. Need a new computer. Job is pending. Background check. Okay. Well, good luck. Oh yeah, devotion points. Let's get some more points on Falcon. So honestly, like the biggest difference for normal difficulty, as I said, like, or for the veteran difficulty rather, is yeah, it's kind of like sluggish early game, like in Act 1. If you don't like just like sluggish start, then just play without the veteran. Well, once your build is like somewhat done, then also veteran is gonna be a breeze, honestly. Which for this build will happen also soon after Act 1, actually. I'm pretty sure. Like around level 20-25 maybe we can like basically probably start steamrolling the game. Because we're like doing what you should be doing, right? Like, using the right skills and so on. But we'll see. Yo, Ground Zero, welcome. Imagine using Mimic Tier against the Rykard, right? Oh, dude. The boss is so easy. Like, I think I fought him at like around levels 80 or something like that. And I mean, I did die more than you, yes, but because he didn't die a single time. But even without Mimic Tier, I thought like he's one of the easiest bosses so far. Like the weapon that you get, I don't know why you even get that weapon, honestly. Like I feel like the fight would be challenging if you didn't get the weapon, but because of that weapon, it's like so easy. That Serpent Hunter weapon.
We speak at last.
Yo, Stradburn, welcome on. Thanks for the follow. Can you keep the weapon? The weapon you get from like before Rykard? Yeah, you can keep it, but it doesn't like keep its range. It just becomes a standard meta weapon outside of that fight. It doesn't matter, we just kill this guy. Now, there was a bridge before Flooded Passage, right, that you could repair. It is entirely optional, just like allows you to skip this part, and honestly skipping this part is not good at normal. Like it's not good to skip this. I mean, you can skip it on higher difficulties, sure, but at this stage of the game you just want to go here, you want to like get the XP from all the stuff, you want to get the shrine, super important as well. There we go. Alright, let's put 1 point here, 1 point here, right? These are gonna like stay 1 pointers, I would say, for quite a long time. And when it comes to devotions, well, yeah, just put like a point to Falcon, get 20 cunning there as well. Yo, Vin, yes, welcome on, and thank you so much. Imagine not using Mimic Tier against every single boss. Dude, I'm honestly so happy I'm not using summons. Like after seeing Mimic Tier, I'm like, yeah. If I would play like, If I would play that, I would like feel like I'm getting cheated for my money. I would refund the game if I played Mimic Tier, I think. I need more reps for more content. Yeah, I mean, if people want more reps, they can just watch you play this game, right? That's true, I guess. If you're even streaming, that is. You deleted Grim Dawn after installing G-Stash. Yeah, understandable. I mean, some people... It always depends, right? Like, some people like to just try out endgame things and they don't care about leveling, or like, they don't care about the journey to get there, and they just want to like check out the endgame and that's it. For other people, like, getting there easily kind of like ruins the sense of accomplishment, and I can also like totally understand that. Like, to me also, like, G-Stash kind of like ruined like the motivation to even play Grim Dawn, because like, yeah, you can just like cheat your character, and I mean, yeah, you can, congratulations, right? But who are you really like cheating on in this game, right? The only guy, like the only person you're like cheating on in this game is yourself. There's no like real competitive aspect to this game, unless you're playing like the community seasons. But I mean, if you use GD Stash on those, you're just getting banned, of course. So yep. Alright. There we go. It's working now. Hopefully it is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like fun to like try it out once, right? But I don't know, like to me G-Stash just like becomes boring real quick. Cheaters have a small limit. I mean, as I said, like in the end, like just play whatever you want to play. Like play the game in whatever way you enjoy playing the game. I enjoy playing this game mostly in the way it's intended to be played by the devs, because otherwise you lose like too much sense of progression. Anyway, let's just talk about the armor real quick, right? There are components that give you armor, like scavenge plating. If you put these on your belt, they are 6 times as effective, because belt armor is global armor, right? Whereas other armor is like local, right? We can do this, for example, by putting... Okay, we like put, for example, you can put this on every single slot, right? But however, right, if you like put it on the chest, right? You have 66 armor rating right now, and 73 on chest, and for example 73 on arms, right? If you put it here, your average rating is only gonna go up by 4, because, well, your chest armor did go up by 15, however all other slots didn't change at all, right? So it's like 88 on the chest and still 73 on the arms, for example. If you put it on the belt though, it's gonna change by 15, because all slots are getting plus 15 armor, because, well, armor on the belt is global armor. Same thing actually for rings. Like, there are some rings that have armor as well. However, there are no armor components that you can put on your rings, right? So this like component trick in quotation marks only works for the belt slot and nothing else. So yeah, whenever you have like the choice between putting a component that has armor on your belt or anywhere else, always put it on the belt first, right? Yo, Michio, welcome. Oh yeah, we can theory craft vitality penalty later. Let's do that. All right, blooded crystals have armor. You're right, Blender. You're right. There is a component that has armor for rings as well. I'm lying. You can also put that one actually on metal and amulet, right? Yeah, it's an endgame component, like an endgame craftable component. You can use that.
Oh, hello, Trap.
Like basically with the same trick, right? But yeah, early game you're not gonna get it. Like, you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, you're actually right, Blender. Not bad. Imagine blocking a sword swing with a wedding ring. Rings have armor, yep. I mean, yeah, they do apparently. Zeppeli ban. Are you still banned in Alkaisers right now? Or is your ban lifted for the moment? Might be time to ban Zeppeli here as well. Alright, Tale of Two Blacksmiths, right? Angrum or Duncan. Honestly, for this character, it really doesn't matter who you side with. For endgame crafting, Angrum is better. But I mean, your choice for endgame crafting is only gonna matter in Ultimate. Underneath in Normal, you can choose whoever you like more, I guess, lore-wise. For the moment, you're safe. Imagine thinking you're safe. Oh, Headhunter's Trophy, that seems like a bleed item. It is, right? 20 bleed damage. That's the thing with these, like, blue items, right? Like, blue items are good and all, right? They're decent. But usually their resistances aren't that amazing. On the other hand, I'll still honestly take the damage right now. You just put, like, the other armored here again, right? So, I mean, after realizing that armor is only good on belt, or like like it's not good on these 6 slots, right? It's good on belt or like in rings, but it's not good on these slots. The question would be, okay, what do you put on these slots then, right? I mean, you either want resistances, or I guess health is also okay. And then there are also like 2 components that give you like % armor absorption increase, those are good as well. Because by default, armor has only 70% effectiveness in this game. I mean, don't ask me why they haven't even done that. Like, why this mechanic even exists. It feels a little... I don't know. It feels like one of those mechanics that could be cut, to be honest. The armor absorption mechanic. But yeah, by default, whatever number you have in your armor is only 70% effective. Which means that... well... if you have 100 armor and get hit by 100 damage, you don't absorb 100 damage, but you only absorb 70 damage, right? So you need to ideally get that armor absorption as close as possible to 100%. And the easiest way to do that on a non-soldier is gonna be to like craft 2 certain components that we're gonna do like soonish here, I guess. It's kind of lame. Yeah, I mean, it's like there. I don't even like get it like lore-wise or like reality-wise, like what is armor absorption even like trying to like represent in real life? I don't get it. Yeah, if they like had other like debuffs and so on around that mechanic would be more interesting, but there's not really that much, like there's nothing actually. There's literally only you getting the number from 70 to 100% and that's it, right? There's no other like interaction or mechanic in this game with armor absorption. It's just so that the mechanics are the same for enemies, and yeah, I mean, for balance reasons it makes sense, right? But you could also just like hide it, right? I don't know. Also, welcome on Star Wars, how you doing? Wait, did you actually like name change from SLW to Star Wars now? That's Pog. It's not about realism, it's about believability. I forgot, yeah. Oh, isn't that the ring with the armor? Obsidian Seal. There we go, right? This one has armor. Has 18 armor at level 18 and has like more armor later. If you find like higher level versions of this. Pretty decent ring actually, like for defense. I like it. Okay guys, what do we do with our skill points now? Like for this act, right? For act 1, we don't really need more skill points. We're gonna like respec soonish after act 1 anyway. So I guess we just like put one here, one here, one here, something like that, right? Savagery, Pact, and just Bar is fine, I guess, for now. Could you level this build as a Nightblade? Yes, in fact we're gonna basically switch over to a Nightblade soonish. But for Act 1, at least if you wanna like play Bleed from the start, then Shaman's just way better. You can play this as a Nightblade, but you can't play it as a Bleed Nightblade really in Act 1. I mean, you could play Phantasmal Blades maybe. Actually, that's not too bad. I should have like expected to PB right now as well. But you always want your Warring Swarm first, and then I guess second you could go for PB, right, for Phantasmal Blades. That's fine as well. I kind of forgot about PB to be honest right now. These guys can be a little bit annoying, right? They have freeze and so on. Especially, yeah, okay, like especially if you don't find this weapon, right? If you don't get Borok's Bloody Arm, which makes Savagery pretty decent for Act 1 as well for single target damage, then you really wanna play Phantasmal Blades for single target damage, right? To complement you the Warring Swarm. Yeah, PB is easy start. Yeah, PB, exactly. You think about using the 2-turret style skills, Storm Totems and Mortars can be good. Sure, yeah, why not? Probably there's a lightning build. There's like an item that converts Mortar Traps to lightning. There are also items that convert, or like there's one item as well that converts Storm Totem to fire, right? But I think the Elementalist class has a role like better lightning support and fire support. What's been my favorite build in the past year? What have I even played, dude? It's probably like one of the League items. One of the League builds. Maybe Aether Force Wave even? That's pretty fun. Even though it's not really like that creative, to be honest. Or... I mean, from the recent patch, the Cold Doombolt is really fun, and the Pierce Ages of Many is really fun. But I mean, those are like from this year, right? Not from last year. What else have I played last year? I mean, I played like Avenger Water in Season 2 last year, which was a snooze fest. But it's really strong. If you wanna like play like a relaxing AFK build, then that's pretty good. Alright, we just have to clear this village, right? Like, clear this rift gate in the village, rather. Which village? Rift gate? We could go back, like, any time and craft already, like, some components at the smith. But I feel like that's too try-hard for Act 1, right? And, like, the average beginner player is not gonna do that anyway, right? So let's not do it here either. But you can really do it, right? Like, once you rescue the smith, you could go back and, like, start crafting components for your gear. Which is obviously good, but you don't really need it for Act 1 either. So let's just do it after defeating Warden Krieg here in Act 1. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I just, like, get Phantasmal Blades. The problem with Phantasmal Blades, though, is that it does need a lot of energy as well, and I kinda am struggling with energy right now. I mean, it's better because... And you can always, like, put more points in Mogdrogan's Pact, right? Like, get more energy regen in Mogdrogan's Pact, that's fine. And against Warden Krieg, I guess maxing out PB would be pretty nice as well. Yeah, it's Veteran. Like, Veteran Act 1 is always kind of slow, right? And Veteran is a little bit zoomier later as well. Like, once you get your build going, but in Act 1 it's always slow. Act 1 is always a slog. On Veteran at least. Just use energy components. I mean, you really don't have anything in Act 1. You only have like polished emeralds and that's it. Alright, you don't have any ectoplasm in Act 1. You get ectoplasm in Act 7 or in Act 2, but not in Act 1. So can't really use ectoplasm. Let's go down here, right? Let's try this one out. This might be a little rippy though, right? Like these these layers on Veteran, they can be a little rippy, not gonna lie. It's not too bad though, I have apparently like decent armor and decent resistances. But these can be kinda rippy. And they're like entirely optional as well, so. More energy. This one, just like the one on the dump, has also like a rat boss, right? And these rat bosses have, I think they have like one-handers they can drop, like they can like drop their tails, which you can then like use to attack. The one in here, Grundlepluth, I think has a Tedati themed tail, whereas the other one has a poison acid themed tail. They're also kind of like a slog to kill on Veteran, not gonna lie, holy fuck. Yeah, this takes forever. Should probably skip these on Veteran, honestly. No reason to do this. Also make sure to not stand inside of like poison on the ground if you're in these, like if you're fighting these guys.
Good, you're back.
2 years. I feel old now.
2 years already, holy moly. I still sometimes feel like it's been yesterday when you like started playing Ground Dawn, but it's really not. It really is not anymore. Alright, Grundlepluth down, and Ground Zero is a bloomer again. Welcome back, welcome back. Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back to the bloomers. Pepega chat? Oh yeah, I can't write in chat. We also have found a medal, that's pretty nice. Medals are, I think, findable after around level 10-ish. You can also buy medals from the vendor in Devil's Crossing.
Good, you're
back. And they do give you...
I am old now, baby hands.
9 months, Envy. Thank you so much for the resub as well. Welcome back, welcome back. Are you old too already? Right, didn't you just like... get born? 9 months, full baby. Ready to see the world. It's basically just your birthday, right? Like, you're not old yet. Don't worry. So thanks for the follow, Enroth. Welcome, welcome. You're a baby, Pog. Still a baby. Don't worry. Oh yeah, over here in the abandoned waterfront, you wanna like find 3 fabrics, right? These things here. Don't leave this area before you have found 3, right? There's another like side quest that you wanna do, for which you need 3 of these. Don't need more than 3, just 3 is fine. And you can get these from like these crates, right? These smaller crates. So make sure to like open up all of these like strong boxes slash crates in this area. 9 months, not 30 years, yeah. Definitely not 30 years, right? Copium. Alright, level 17. This is also the best, like the best energy regeneration in Act 1 is to just level up, right? Level up to get energy. Seems good. Holy fuck. Stop attacking me, rats. Alright, let's put more points on our blade, right? Actually, yeah, we can also put a point to Pneumatic Burst. Pneumatic Burst is a total speed buff as well as a active field whenever you press it, right? So, yeah, I mean, you have to try to keep it up all the time, but also sometimes delay the reactivation of it to, well, heal yourself, right? It's kind of finicky to like have this up, but also ready to heal yourself. And some people don't like this mechanic, that you have to like have a buff and a healing ability in one skill. I actually think it's not too bad, and it does always like put you under like a strategic pressure in a way. So like you have to like think about, do I want to heal now, or do I want to like well, use the like reapply the buff instead, right? I think it's pretty decent. Pretty well made. I also found a blood sail, right? This one is giving us some bleeding damage as well. A unique bleeding ring. And also we got a soldier's ribbon of soul warding. Is that really any better than a menacing one right now? I mean, Aether resistance is technically more important than Chaos Rust in Act 1, so we should use that instead, right? Oops, what am I doing here? And then we can also use the Blood Seal instead of the... I would say instead of the Lightbringers of Celerity, right? That seems fine. Right, and then we can also like put some more of these here. Oh, also we have a new cap, right? The new cap doesn't have any energy regen though, right? Just put polished emeralds everywhere then. I mean, polished emeralds give me spirit, which gives me also regen in a way, so I guess it's fine like this. Shit micromanagement. I think it's actually not too bad. Like once you get used to this, it's fine. Oh yeah, talking about devotions and their actives, right? These orange or like red nodes, right? And the devotion, in these like devotion, what do they even call like symbols, star symbols, whatever, constellations. You can attach these to skills, right? Either to active skills, or some of them you have to like attach to passive skills, and then the skill that you have this attached to will have a chance to proc this, right? To proc the ability of the devotion tree. It's pretty cool, kind of like a cast on hit thing, right? There we go, right? These yellow things are just like, yeah, these are the falcons from the Falcon devotion, which deal additional like bleeding damage and some physical as well. Pretty fine for this stage of the game at least. 3 decks in a coat and Crab Turtle, welcome guys. Been farming Korrak and Theoden, and those transformations add so much time to the fight. Yeah. I don't think there's any way to change them though. Like, you have to like... The only way to change them would be to, well, make a mod and then change the actual boss, right? That's, I think, literally the only way to do it. There's no like quick and easy solution. The Freedom Constellation. Wait, which one is? Yo, Tyler Workman. Spamming 1, 2, 3. Any PoE players in chat? You watch the guy play a 0-button build in PoE. Except mouse click where to go. With all flasks automated even without enemies. Alright, alright. I mean, PoE is a game where you can do everything, right? It's just like getting there, right? Getting to that point is sometimes a little annoying, to be honest. Like for example the flask thing, right? The flask change. They give you like all these ways to like automate your flasks. But at least if you're like starting out on the game, like you can't just get there, right? You have to like make it to maps and then like farm certain things, I guess. To be honest, I don't know that like enough about PoE though. I guess that's like easy enough to get there for like the average PoE player that really like knows how the game works. Alright, this is arguably the hardest part of this entire fucking act, right? Yep, I said that as I die, almost. If you're playing hardcore and you're like new to this game, don't click on the ancient Aether Totem in the Warden Center, right? Don't do this. You're gonna die, like, chances are pretty high you're gonna die. These things like can spawn Flesh Hulks and Amalgamations, mobs from basically Act 3 and 4. And they hurt a lot, right? They hurt a lot. And you probably don't do enough damage for these guys at that stage of the game, so unless you kite them a lot and perfectly, then you might just fall over and die. However, we are playing a bleeding build, right, so we can kite. We can also like abuse the leash range of these mobs, I guess, in a way. They're gonna like reset after some time anyway here. And like walk back like this guy right there, right? So yeah, even though this is super rippy, we'll still be able to just clear this totem without dying, right? It's just gonna take a while. But yeah, if you're playing hardcore veteran yourself and you're new to this game, you should probably not click on this totem, right? Unless you wanna experience death or near death, I guess. Oh yeah, it spawned more mobs, of course. Yep, these are the Flesh Hulks. Yep, this is Ram Ranch, basically. Yeah, don't get hit by these like Aether overhead smashes, for example. The charge is already like pretty bad. But it doesn't actually deal that much damage, I think. At least not at this stage of the game. Alright. Yeah, this is also like a situation where using Phantasmal Blades would be better than using Savagery, right? Right. I even have like bonus points for that, interesting. But yeah, if you manage to defeat us again, you will get a shit ton of loot. I feel like these totems might even give you like too much loot early game. But yeah, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Formidable of Protection. That's pretty formidable, is it not? Trying to get totems nerfed and weird. Honestly, I feel like the totems in the like second half of Act 1 is fine, but like in the first part of Act 1 they always like seem kinda out of place. Like the first 1 or 2 totems you do, they're kinda weird, right? Especially the one that you can find in like Lower Crossing already or something like that, right? Like in the dump, basically, right? The one that you find in the dump, you're like level 7 or something, right? You clear the totem at level 7 and you're like instantly leveled to like level 9 or 10 or something like that if you clear it. That's kinda weird. Feels a little weird, at least to me. I'm gonna go straight for Scarab Shield. Would I try to suffer through the Skeletons and Veteran without Blade Spirits? I mean, you only suffer through Skeletons if you don't play Devouring Swarm as an additional debuff, right? And even if you play Blade Spirits, right, you're gonna suffer through Skeletons if you don't play Devouring Swarm, right? Because of the bleed resistance reduction, I assume. But yeah, the plan is to go to Act 7 after Krieg here, because yeah, Act 7 does give us that pretty good shield you can easily farm as well in like the start of Act 7. The only gentleman, welcome on. So what I follow. Early monster totems are nice if you're starting in Elite or maybe Ultimate, yeah. That's true. I mean, for like challenge runs, they seem pretty nice. I mean, on Veteran it's also decent, because the totems are actually harder than Veteran. But like, if you're playing just standard normal, they kinda... But then again, I guess normal is supposed to be like the tutorial difficulty, right? Like, it's supposed to be easy. So like, you kill the totem easily, and then you get like a shit ton of loot, making the rest of the act even easier as well. I guess it's fine. It's not like that much of a problem, I think. My energy consumption is kind of a problem though. Holy fuck. Losing to spooters? What is this? Hound's Bite. Oh, that's a poison item. Okay. Most efficient way to level bleed Trickster, spirit them to wear the offhand. Hey, what? Which offhand there? Which offhand are you even like trying to use here? And apart from like Conjurer's Bow and early game. I know which offhand. Ragrathar's Horn. Omega lol. Dude, it's like an Act 4 item, right? How is an Act 4 item worse than an Act 7 item, which is... I mean, Act 7 means it's accessible after Act 1, so it's kind of like Act 2 in a way. Oh my god, my energy. I don't have pots. Free. I have to like buy pots for real now, I guess. Xanta's gonna nerf the Pierce AR amulet? Yeah, of course, because like somebody like did a 4-minute Crucible run. It's too OP. At least according to Crucible. Oh, we got energy, we leveled up, nice. Just get energy by level ups, right? I need more energy, right? So like maybe more points. Mogdong Spectre is gonna fix it. You leveled mine as Promise Strike. Your Trickster, you mean? Yeah, I did that too as well, like with another Trickster some time ago. I guess Promise Strike wouldn't even be like that, like off theme, because Promise Strike technically also deals bleeding damage, right? I mean, it does, right? Like cooldown Promise Strike would be interesting. I wonder how good it is. I know. I know it's not that good to play bleeding Promise Strike endgame. Like, it's pretty bad, but you just leveled with Lightning though. I mean, yeah. Lightning Promise Strike is obviously better than this early game, for sure, for sure. And let's just go back to Devil's Crossing Hand and some of these quests that we have done. And since you are in the Warden's laboratory now, we have to like basically prepare for the Warden fight next, right? So for Warden, you might want to get a little bit more single target damage than this, right? We have like shit single target right now. Which means we should try to Resistant of the Honor Guard. Should the Paul not go along? Dude, I don't have energy regen on my helmet, on my amulet, on my chest. Like, you can find energy regen on all of those pieces instead, right? Yeah, like this one, right? There we go. This is a proper caster helm. We get some energy regen there. That's good. These are fine pounds, I'm gonna save them. They're pretty decent. What about this one? I mean, generally Shamder's amulet can be pretty good, right? However, the rolls I got on the affixes aren't really that amazing for this build, so we're just gonna skip it for now, I think. Let's put these here, that's there. Is there anything for bleeding damage we can put on a weapon? Not really, right? There really is... I guess there's a rated spike, actually. It's more for pierce than for bleed, but oh well. Let's put that there as well, right? Some of these components that you can put in your weapons also have, like, auras that you can use on your second bar again, and then, like, apply like that. There we go. Yo, Cooker, welcome on. 안녕하세요. That's like all I can speak and read in Korean though, so I don't know any more than that.
What do you want?
Dareni, I mean, you can kill him or not, really it doesn't matter that much, to be honest. You can not kill him if you want to, like, access a certain side area easier, but you don't have to, to like spare him to get the key, right, for that area. You can also just find the key in another way. Open season? Season 4 is not open yet, no, not yet. It will probably be like in summer or like late summer, I assume. Not yet, no. Those are just like a beginner's playthrough for YouTube. This is not really like a season start.
I sense turmoil within you.
Alright, I wanna actually...
Stay strong.
What do I even wanna do here? I guess I should like get more single target damage, which means more points in PB. I really don't know how my energy is like though right now. Right? I could...
Safe journey.
Like, ideally I just want this maxed, right? But that's maybe gonna be bad. I mean, if I pull points here, like I don't really need those, maybe.
I sense turmoil within you. Safe journey.
You don't have to respec like this, I think. It should be fine without respeccing like this, but if you want a smoother, like an easier kill on Krieg, right, and this is one of the things you can do. Also what you could do, right, you should be around level 18 right now, before one Krieg. So like you could craft a relic as well, but you also don't have to. You can also like do it after Krieg, it's fine, I guess. Just rush for circle. Better than PB against Krieg. Can you even do that at level 19? I mean, maybe you can, right? It's gonna be fine like this as well, I think. And just create a link real quick as well for the build, just to have that ready. Okay. For those of you interested in lore, right? Lore is actually great in this game. Like, the lore is very well written. It is, well, presented in a way as you would expect from a indie game, which means no, like, proper voice acting, except for, like, the major NPCs. Also forgot to buy energy pots, right? I already see my energy being horrible as fuck here, holy shit. This might be bad with a PB.
Come see what's left.
Let's buy some elixirs of spirit, right, there we go. 24 should be more than enough. Wow, that's gonna be such bad energy regen, oh well. If you don't care about lore, you can of course also like just skip the lore, like it's not mandatory to read it. But it is pretty nice. I think it's really nice. Alright, I think for trash we're not gonna like use PB much right now. Just use like Devouring Swarm. And maybe some surgery attacks here and there. And then for bigger enemies and also for Walden Krieg we're gonna use Phantasmal Blades as well on top of it. Yeah, I mean, we like one-shot this guy with PB. That's not too bad. Really? Yeah, was PB always as shitty, or? I thought it's like decent. Isn't it like used by speedrunners as well? I mean, I guess because there's no other option if you like speedrunning. Maybe Circle is just way better around. Oof. It's not even that good right now. We're also missing still, dude. Holy fuck! Like veteran enemies have like such high away in the air, it's crazy. The B is only good if you max a second. Against single target? What? For less energy cost. What? Oh, only 8 points here. Is that like a sweet spot for the bleed damage on this? Second ability doesn't scale the mana. I mean, yeah. If you play like Vitality and spam it, then yeah, of course that's what you do, right? But if you play Bleed, then imagine not spamming PB for speedrunning. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, early game, right, generally you shouldn't necessarily play Bleed this early, but if you want to play Bleed, then I guess that's the best way to do it, but it's really not that good as you can see, right? Compared to some other options, I guess. Also, yeah, like, I mean, streamlining your damage this early doesn't really do that much either. Like, early game until like level 50-ish, you can basically like play whatever. Like, at least until like level 30 to 40, right? You can like play whatever like damage combination you want, unless, like, as long as you just deal damage, right, that's fine. You wanna prepare like your devotions for what you wanna play later. But other than that, you can basically like play whatever damage type you want, right? It's totally fine. I guess we play Bat next, right? Falcon and Bat. I like the first two tier 1 bleeding, like bleeding damage devotions we want to play here.
I've been expecting.
I mean, against single target, this is also going to be like totally fine, I think, because like we're just applying our bleed with PB, applying bleed with Savagery, applying bleed with like Devouring Swarm. Other than that, just like run around in circles, like that's totally fine, right? Might not be the quickest kill, of course, but it's like gonna be fine.
And when I'm done with you, I will crush your friends.
The other thing with like, I mean, as I said, right, if you want to like spam Phantasmal Blades, for example, you can't like, yeah, Like, you can't put as many points in the first skill, because you need to conserve your energy, and if you put many points in your first skill, then you can't conserve your energy, right, properly. Warden Creek Stage 2 has a couple of abilities you want to dodge, right? He has like this melee stomp. This one, right, you want to dodge this one. Then you kind of want to like walk back in, but also you want to like dodge that, and also when he uses his crossbow, right, you don't want to get hit by the projectiles of the crossbow. You can kind of like cheese his crossbow by like standing always close to him, apart from like when he uses the stomp. Right, still got hit, well. And if you do that, then he's never going to use the crossbow, right, because he like only uses the crossbow at like long range. I keep getting hit by that though, what the fuck? Have I even played this game? Well, that's not a zero hit round, that's for sure. But I mean, yeah, it gets the job done, right? It doesn't blades, it gets the job done here. Might not be the most efficient to like play bleed at this point, as people have said in chat, but it gets the job done, right? You can play bleed. Yo, Fromage, welcome on. Welcome. Dumb question perhaps, but bleed damage is a set damage tick per tick. No, they don't take more damage when they move now.
Warden's defeat is a... So you tie before we...
I mean, there are like several ways to apply bleed in this game, right? You can like talk about this real quick, right? You can... This works for all the dots the same way, right? You can stack dots from different skills. Using the same skill again will only refresh that dot, right? So if you're like using the Warring Swarm, and the swarm is like still on the enemy, using it a second time will only refresh the duration and not add more damage, right? So if you want to like, for example, get lots of bleed damage, you can like use the Warring Swarm and then like Phantasmal Blades on top, and then you have like two different like bleeding dots stacking. If you are using a skill that has main hand damage or like any kind of weapon damage, then it would also apply all sources of flat bleeding damage that you have on your weapon and on your gear, right? I mean, there's none here in this tree right now, but there's, for example, on the weapon, right? The weapon has 27 bleeding damage over 3 seconds. The belt has actually no flat bleeding damage. Right, is that all I have right now? Like, only on the weapon? It might be all I have right now, right? So this 27 bleeding damage over 3 seconds, right, gets multiplied by whatever main hand damage percentage your skill that you're using has, like by 1.08 in this case. And then that is like your bleeding damage that's sticking on the enemy, that's like coming from your like weapon damage. If you're using another ability as well that also has main hand damage, for example, if you were like using Promise Strike, right, this one has 110% main hand damage, this one has 108% main hand damage. If you use both on the enemy, you are not getting 218% main hand damage, like of your like worth of your bleeding damage that you have. You are only getting 110%, right? Like the highs will apply, and this flat weapon damage cannot stack because it's like considered as one source, right? It's like the same thing as if you like apply like a skill like this which has bleeding damage twice. So two different skills that have percent weapon damage will not apply like their like flat bleeding damage. They won't like stack the flat weapon bleeding damage that you have, right? It won't like be applied once, which is why generally, if you're playing a bleeding build, right, you want like lots of different abilities that have like bleeding damage, of course. They also need to have like proper values, of course, otherwise they might not be able to deal that much damage. For example, like Grasping Vines has pretty bad bleeding damage. I mean, you can use it still, but it's like not that great. And then you also want one ability at least that has a decent amount of weapon damage, right? So then you want like one ability that has like huge main hand damage, and all the other abilities don't have any main hand damage whatsoever, but only like bleeding damage on the skill itself, right? Like Devouring Swarm or Grasping Vines or Circle of Slaughter, right? All of these have like bleeding damage, and then you want like one ability that has like higher weapon damage, like Savagery or Promise Strike, for example, that like apply that flat bleeding damage from your, like from all other sources, right? From your weapon, from your devotions, from your gear, and so on. But I mean, if you don't have like high flat bleeding damage on your weapon or your devotions and so on anyway, then I guess that main hand damage part doesn't matter that much anyway, right? I mean, that's just like the way it works, right? And you have to like build around that. And if you build around that, then you will like optimize your build, right? Of course, like other games do this like differently, and this is how Grim Dawn does it. You can like it or hate it, it's just the way it is, right? Anyway, we have defeated Act 1 basically, right? We have also the ability to like craft components at the smith now. I was talking about armor absorption earlier, right? What you want to do basically for leveling to get like a decent amount of armor absorption is just like to craft two scaled hides, and then put them into, for example, your pants or your shoulders or your chest, and then you're gonna get to 98%. 98% is usually like good enough, right? It's not 100, but it's good enough. And yeah, just like use some other components here and there, right, that we have found. I don't know, like something here, something there, and so on and so on, right? We also have the inventory now, which means we can retrieve components from our gear, right? If you found like a better gear piece, but we want to keep the component that we have crafted because it wasn't like, I don't know, expensive, then we can just go to the vendor, to the inventor, and swap that component, right? Or like keep the component and destroy the item. In this case, I'm gonna like destroy the component on this Headhunter's Trophy, right? I want to keep the item and put a salve here instead, which gives me, well, actually even more armor than the Scavenge Plating did, and on top of that also 20% poison resistance. So components are a nice way as well to boost your resistances. Now after this act, you can either go into Act 7 if you own the Forgotten Gods DLC, right? Or you can like proceed into Act 2 over on the bridge side here. We're gonna go to Forgotten Gods Act 7 because this act has an item that I wanna use and farm for this build. It's a shield that you can get from the like beetles in this area. So we're gonna like farm a certain beetle, I guess, until we get the item, and that's what we're gonna use here. Actually very similar to the Aura Paladin that I played as well, like a year ago. Just this time we're like looking for the other shield, right? Yo, Riodora, welcome on. Could you explain what armor absorption does exactly? So by default you have 70%, right? Whoops, that's the wrong guy.
The emissary.
By default you have 70%. So whatever your value you have here only has 70% effectiveness, right? So if you have 100 armor, but you only have 70% armor absorption, and you get hit by 100 physical damage, you will only absorb 70, and you will still take 30 damage, right? If you have 100% absorption, then you will take 0 damage. Now then you might think, well, this is just like a multiplier, right? So basically 70 armor with 100% absorption is just as good as 100 armor with 70% absorption. It's actually not true, because 70 armor with 100% absorption is even better than 100 armor with 70% absorption. And here's why. If you get hit by 50 armor, by 50 physical damage, right? You have 100 armor, but only 70% absorption, and you get hit by 50 physical damage. You will still take 30% of that 50 physical damage, because you only have 30%, you only have 70% absorption. So you will still take 15 damage, right? You will absorb 35 and take 15. We also found Explorer's Trousers Blueprint, which is one of the blueprints you can use here at the Smith to craft items, and these are actually insane, right? These will give you experience gain, poison rust, and so on. Like, if you find these, just craft them, I guess. On the other hand, I've also found these, which are arguably just as good or even better. So like two insanely good like pants to choose from here. I don't even know which one to take here, honestly. Probably Explorer still? Not sure. Whereas if you have 70 armor, right, and 100% effectiveness, and you get hit by 50 physical damage, you will take 0 damage, right? So, like, the only way to get, like, to 0 damage taken on a physical attack that hits you, that deals less or equal damage to the amount of armor that you have, is by having 100% absorption, right? If you have sub 100% absorption, you will always take that missing percentage of your absorption as a percentage of the hit that you're being hit by, right? TLDR always get 100%. Yeah, that's like kind of the TLDR. I mean, 98% for the most of the time is like for most of the game is also fine, especially early on, right? If I have 150 armor here and 98% absorption, and I get hit by like, I don't know, 100 damage, I will take I will only take 2 damage, right, and like absorb 98% of it, which is fine. Like, it's like the last 2% is not that impactful anyway. But yeah, if you want to take 0 damage, then you need 100% armor, which only works, I guess, like smaller hits anyway, right? Like if you have 1000 armor and you get hit like by 2000 damage, physical damage in one hit, even if you have 100% absorption, right, you're still obviously like gonna take another 1000 damage, right? Because you only have 1000 armor, and armor only absorbs like a flat amount of the hit that you're getting hit by. So yeah, TLDR 100% absorption is good, but armor always is like only good against it's like good against shotguns, it's good against like mobs swarming you, like hitting you with like lots of smaller attacks, but it's not really like good against like single chunky hits by like trolls or stuff like that, right? Yeah, okay. I mean, the streamer luck continues, right? You can just like go into this area, like hit the first pack and get the shield you want. What is this? Oh my god. I'm gonna show you the area where you actually should usually have to farm this item. Alright. So you go to Corvin Plateau. You go to the first rift gate. You can't skip the totem, honestly, like, we're not that strong right now. Let's not waste our time with the totem here. Our damage is kind of meh right now, right? As you can see. Which means we do need this item. So you go to this, right? You get this portal, because it's gonna be like where you're gonna port every time you reset your session, when you farm. And then there is an area, well, if you have the map like this, right, standard, then you go like southwest, but you don't go like up here, or you don't go up here, you go between the two, right? And there is like, yeah, it's like west actually, just west. There's an area that's like not really marked on the map, right, between these, like, you go through here, you will get these lore nodes here, and you can drop down into this like beetle hole, right, maggot hole. And you can like farm all of these, right? Kill all of these beetles here outside. They have a small chance to drop the shield. I did get it from these small guys, right? I don't know how even, but I did manage to get that. Then you can also like go down into the cave here and like farm the mobs here, right? And there's a boss here that has a pretty decent chance to like drop the shield, right? Like a way better chance to drop the shield than these guys. So generally, you will probably get your shield from the boss and not these like smaller mobs. I'm just doing this to like see how doable this even is, like how annoying this is. Yeah, there he is, right? Margu the Rotting. He has a fixed spawn location, he always spawns on this corner of the map. Yeah, this might be actually kind of annoying to do, right, without, like with the setup right now. Maybe a little weak. So many mobs do, like, what the fuck. I mean, killing all of them is fine for like XP, and you really want to make sure to like hit the boss with the Phantasmal Blades, right, and not the other like guys. Because your Phantasmal Blades like this with the current setup doesn't have any like pierce, like any pass through, so you really want to hit the boss and not the other stuff. Yeah, this is kind of awful, I'm not gonna lie. And I guess you could like use another ability to farm this guy, maybe like Promise Strike. Just Promise Strike, I don't know. Just use a 2-hinder and Promise Strike maybe. I mean, you'll figure it out, right? But, it's gonna take a while to die here. At least in Veteran. If you're like playing non-Veteran, honestly, you could just like play non-Veteran, like farm this guy on normal. And then he will have a chance to drop one of the 2 shields, right? There's the Shell and the Carapace. You're looking for the Shell. This is the one that I was using on the Aura Den, right? The Aura Paladin. And the other one is the one that we're gonna use here on the Trickster. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if you don't get the shield from this guy, right, you just reset the session, and then you can like, it's like the only way to like make enemies respawn this game. And then you have like a fresh session, and then you go to this portal, and then you farm the guy, right? Anyway, we already have the shield there, so we're just gonna use it, right? Just use the shield. There we go. And the shield, well, gives you more bleeding damage to Devouring Swarm, to Blade Spirits, and also reduces enemy bleeding resistances, right? Additionally on Devouring Swarm. So we can't really use it. I'm gonna get the Bleed Gun as well, the Viper Hemorrhager, maybe. And now we just like respec a bit, right? We don't need Phantasm Blades, we don't need really any of this anymore, we don't need this either, we don't need any of this either. I think I need to respec this as well, right? Respecking will cost more and more iron butts, so you gotta be like a little bit careful with that. But it's never like super expensive in this game, to be honest. It's like always fun. And then we can like go all the way in outplay, right, and like max out the Blade Spirits as much as we can. Honestly, just get all the points for it, right? Also like put your active to Blade Spirits on the Devotion tree. Remove this as well. You can't remove the last point, right, because you can't like reset your masteries anymore. But yeah, just like that. And you don't have anything, right? You don't have any ability. You just summon Blade Spirits, which are like passive, so you can like put them in your secondary bar even. They're kind of like pets, right? That's all you need. And you can like also like use pet attack. And you're basically a pet build now, right? Sounds disgusting, but you are a pet build, right? Keep Devouring Swarm in your opinion. Oh yeah, 1 point true for the bleed RR from those runs. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, true. If this the thing didn't give you like additional points to swarm, then it wouldn't be worth it. But right now it is, because yeah, you do get additional bonuses on swarm just because you're using the shield as well. So this is fine, yeah. Now we have 2 options, right? There is another bleeding item, like a bleeding gun that you can get from certain Vipers in this act. We could either farm that or just proceed with the Act 2, right? Also, I don't have enough scrap, what the fuck? Do you have to like buy scrap from the vendor again? I guess so.
Come see what's left of what wears. Put it to good use. Come see what's left of what wears.
And we could like see how the damage is, right? And if it's not good enough, then we can like still farm the gun. You would farm the gun since Veteran. Maybe buy movement speed augment. Yeah, you could also do that, right? Like there's a movement speed augment called Mark of the Traveler, which you can't find at this point. But if you don't find it, there's also a chance you can buy it from, I think, only Luther Graves. But he doesn't have it, so we can't buy it. Or does the Forgotten Gods vendor also do that? Oh yeah, you're talking about the rune. Yeah, of course. That's like reason number 2 why you're like always should go to Forgotten Gods and every single character basically, and like at least do the first quest and then like sign with a faction of your choice, is to buy a movement augment, right? For some reason I sided with Solar, I guess. For some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, we can like use this rush augment. That's not not that bad, right? It's fine. It's a fine augment. You can put this on your metal. You have a skill in your bar then, right? Like this. Rush. And you can like move it a bit quicker around. It's not too bad. Also, rush is actually not too bad either, honestly, because it does add the damage of the shield, right? So, and we are using a shield. It's actually fine. I think it's better than leap here. Okay, now we just like watch the spirits kill stuff. Very interactive gameplay, right? I mean, you can also like use the wrong swarm, of course, still. Right? Like deal some damage. You can always like pet attack like this, right? Like have your pets in front of you. But yeah, pretty good. One other thing about bleed damage, right, that I didn't mention yet, is that if you are using pets, the bleed damage of pets will actually stack even though it's the same pet, right? Because like different pets, even if they're the same pet, still count as like individual sources, right? So even though I said earlier that like bleeding damage from one skill doesn't stack, right? Since Blade Spirit is a pet, the bleeding damage of these pets will stack because it's two different pets using that bleeding damage, right? So yeah, you can kind of like use pets to cheat bleeding damage. Does that work with RR too? I don't think there's any pet that uses RR, is there? Or that has RR. I mean, I don't think that it works. Like, it can't stack RR like that, at least. Deathstalker. Yeah, but you can't have like two Deathstalkers, right? You can only have one. You can't like stack that, I guess. Also, Deathstalker like applies a debuff, right? It's not an attack. It applies a debuff around it, and like debuffs are like a different story again. Because like even if like two pets have the same debuff, right? Like debuffs can't stack. Like if it's different debuffs, of course they can stack. But if it's the same debuff, it doesn't matter which source it is from. It always doesn't stack, right? Yeah, because it's like a debuff type. Yeah, it's true. Like Guardians of Empyrean, for example, have an aura, right? It has a resistance reduction, and that one doesn't stack. Same thing, right? It is an aura around them. Like it is a debuff, or rather, it's an aura that applies a debuff around them, right? And enemies hit by that debuff from the aura, yeah, can only like get this debuff applied to them once and not twice, or like 3 times. What a shit game! Wow. All right. I see people like saying that bleed is unplayable, right? Because ghosts and undead, they don't take damage, right, from bleed. I mean, it's the same story as like with all damage types. If you find an enemy that is resistant against a damage type, you need a skill that reduces the resistances. And in this case, well, you have the spirits for the damage and the devouring swarm for the resistance reduction, right? We have not that much right now, we only have like 9% from the skill itself, but like another 10 from the shield, right? So like 19% bleeding resistance reduction, which is good enough for now, right? It's fine. I mean, undead is just worst case because you like meet them so early, right? And yes, if you didn't have like any debuff ability right now to like reduce the resistances, then yeah, that would suck, right? But you play the, well, damage ability together with the debuff, and then you're fine, right? You don't have any RR from Devotion at this point. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And even if you have RR, I mean, yes, you reduce the resistances, but you don't like suddenly make them like one-shottable by the damage shot. It's still gonna take a while. Like, it's still gonna take like a little bit longer than like against other enemies, of course. the only downside is literally immune without RR. Is it though? What about like elemental? Like what about the Arcanists or like the Korvac guys that have like elemental resistance gear on them that can like roll up to like 200% elemental resistances? Like, isn't that like literally immune as well without RR? Early on? Well, no, not early on, of course. Yeah, like as I said, like undead are like the ones that are the earliest into the game. That is true. Yeah, I mean that part is still correct, right? That is still correct, of course. So like, where do you get your resistance reduction from? Devotions? Well, you get it from... For bleed, you get it from Huntress, right? Over here. Which needs 4 purple, 3 red, 4 green, which basically means you have to like, yeah, get Falcon, get Bat, then 1 additional red in Crossroads, right? And then the entire Huntress. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, and then 3, 5, yeah, 5, right? So it's like 17 devotion points to get your bleeding resistance reduction from devotions. So if you're not playing a Witch Hunter, I mean if you're not playing an Occultist or a Shaman, which both have like bleeding resistance reduction very early to the tree, you will struggle against undead, yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, you can also play Berserker instead of Bat, that's true, yeah. If you're playing an axe. What do you do after beating first some Ultimate playthrough? Have you beaten like all the dungeons in Ultimate and like all the side bosses? I mean all the like Celestial bosses as well? There's some that are secret or like hidden rather. I mean, I guess like make new characters for those as well, to like defeat them if you can't do it on your first character, right? One thing that's a little bit annoying, right? Whenever you like put skill points to your Blade Spirits, you have to resummon them. Because they otherwise would still like deal the damage of their like initial like 11 points, for example. Like the same thing for every pet, right? Like whenever you like put skill points to a pet, you have to like resummon the pet. That's just how it is, I guess. Did Bleed Fart fought in damage late game? Like which Bleed Farts? You mean the... What? You mean the Falcons? It's still fine for Bleed. I have the shield already. I will farm the gun later as well, yeah. I don't think I need it right now that badly, it's fine like this, right? But the shield you need, right? Without the shield you can't like play this build basically. At least you can't play like this, and I don't think there's like any way to like play Bleed stronger than this at this point of the game, right? It's probably like the strongest you can do right now. Yeah, I mean, it's a tier 1 devotion, right? Like, of course Falcon is gonna fall off a bit because like it's a tier 1 devotion, right? Like tier 1 devotions really like don't deal that much damage anyway. But you need it for affinity anyway, right? So you will just like have it on top of other stuff. It's not gonna be like that great later, but it's just gonna be there. And like add affinity and some damage. It's fine. Yo, Diamondos, welcome. Yeah, you're gonna go like Mojoong Devotion anyway as well. Like you want Falcon for the purple affinity, basically. Or like green and purple. I mean, Huntress also like needs green and purple, and you have to always play Huntress on every single Bleed build. Alright, another totem, right? This one is a undead totem, right? Like a spirit totem, right? Those are from the undead faction. Which means there are lots of like bleed resistance enemies, bleed resistant enemies here. But as you can see, we're like still, I would say, cut through them decently, considering this is like a damage type that I should have no damage against, right? Or like resistance, they have a resistance that has like very good against bleed, of course. I also found the Blood Reaper's Claw, right? I mean, this is decent as well, I guess. It's more percent bleeding damage. No, it's actually not. It has more increased duration. I mean, once we're playing Savagery again, this weapon is better anyway though, right? Than Blood Reaper's Claw. Dude, these like blue items are sometimes so bad, it's unreal. Let's go back and sell. Real quick. What does this gun do? The Slugger? No bleeding damage, right? Nope. No bleeding damage. We could like still keep this item, but I don't think I'm gonna like ever use it honestly. Also, should we craft a relic? It's like maybe craft a relic, right? So you could craft Calamity, which is useless. You could craft Equilibrium, which gives you movement speed and elemental resistances. That's not too bad. Or you could craft Ruination, which honestly is kind of useless as well for this build. So let's just craft Equilibrium, right? More movement speed, more LRS, that's pretty nice. That is pretty decent. Just wanted to make a Dervish Eye Reckoning as a build. See how it is. Didn't want to follow any guide, just wanted to try something yourself. Started as Nightblade, and I think you made a mistake. It's so damn slow. You just need to like max out Lethal Assault, get some points in Dual Blades, Pneumatic Burst, right? Now it's chill. And then if you're playing Acid, you need to farm Ganavakar's thing in Act 7. Right, there's a Scorpion over here. And the sands, right, like in this desert, which just like farm for 2 of his weapons, and then the build should be good. You can also in Act 1, if you get the Rift Scourge Slicers, which I think are really rare and normal actually, then you can also play Shadow Strike. Like if you get them in Act 1, right, while like going through Act 1, then sure, like use them 100%. But if you don't find them, which is probably more likely that you don't find them, farm Ganavakar in Act 7 instead, right, in Forgotten Gods. You can like ignore all the quests in Forgotten Gods, just like go straight for the desert and like farm Ganavakar, right? You don't have to like do any quests, I think. Not a single quest is needed to enable like farming Ganavakar. You can find them in the first part of Hidden Path. Yeah, but isn't that like higher level than Ganavakar? Like what level is Hidden Path in Act 1 and normal? Or maybe it's not that high of a level, I don't know. But I think it's rippier than farming Ganavakar. Maybe it's not, I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time. Like try early Hidden Path, to be honest. And yeah, as a Nightblade, you have, at least as a dual wield Nightblade, right, you have pretty bad AoE, so like you don't wanna like full clear everything. You only wanna like kill quest mobs and maybe like some packs that are like easy to kill for you. But you never wanna like kill packs for which you need like good AoE and so on, right? Like as a dual wield Nightblade at least, like you don't wanna kill packs that much. Can really do at level 20ish, yeah. Yeah, I mean if you're like any Nightblade, I think those are pretty good, yeah. Like any acid Nightblade really shines with Rift Scourged Slicers. There we go. As a Dervish though, like Ganavakar's thing is insane as well. I feel like as a dervish you might be like still wanna play kind of cards instead. You hit and run too much. Then you probably just need Ring of Steel for CC. Like 1 point Ring of Steel, maybe like even 1 point Ring of Frost, even if you're not playing cold. Just to like freeze trash around you, right? And like 1 point Circle of Slaughter to make enemies that can't be frozen fumble, right? So that they miss your like miss their attacks on you. Say Irish wristwatch quickly. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. What? Irish. Oh shit. Irish wristwatch. There we go.
We have to hit them hard and fast.
Irish wristwatch. Watch. Okay. I'm too tired today. I don't know. I can't do it. You win this one. Sounds more like Irish dishwasher to me, if I say it. There's also another ability, or like another relic you can use, right? If you don't like the ones you can craft, you can also lie to the sky, right? Say you didn't find a talisman, and you will get this one as a relic, right? As a usable relic. Which gives you like % physique, cunning spirit, and also the mana infusion active ability, right? Which you can use here. This is honestly great if you are struggling with energy. If you are not, then I would just use the movement speed instead from the relic that we're using right now. Switch, Swiss, swatch, watch, swish, 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 watch, watch. Yeah, I'm too tired for this today. Oh, sorry. Maxed out Circle of Slaughter with 45% fumble. Yeah, that's pretty nice as well. And we're gonna do it on this build as well, right? Like, it's great for bleed damage as well. What are they doing? Spirits, please. Alright. Yeah, this is kind of a lazy build right now, right? Just use Swarm and then let the pets kill stuff. Yep. Spirits wanna kite too, yeah. Alright, over here you can get like some enemies to spawn that people really hate sometimes. You can, for example, yeah, we can like, for example, kill myself here, right? You can kill Wrecked by Protoss here. This guy hurts a bit, right? Do some physical damage. But I mean, we're playing a pet build, right? So it's just like, I mean, the spirits can't tank for you, right? But you could just like run around in circles and you'll be fine. You can also get Pitmaster's Axe of Blood actually. The Searing Prefix is bad, but whatever. Yep. There we go. Yeah, I mean, don't die to myself, right? Please don't. What do we got? Pitmaster's Axe. It actually also has like +2 to Anatomy of Murder. Oh yeah, this is an upgrade I think for right now, right? As long as we don't have the... We're 24, yeah. As long as we don't have the gun. Pitmaster's Axe is actually okay. Right, it's an upgrade at least. Harder to kite without Veil. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The Veil of Shadows with its like minus movement speed, right? Like minus total speed is pretty decent to like kite stuff like this. Like enemies like the pit guys. This build is Wrecked by Protoss viable. Yeah, officially it is. Even on veteran, right? Even on veteran. Ah, level 24, so we switch the this thing here, right? And also, since we have this weapon now, which gives us +2 to this skill down here, which also increases our bleed damage, we're also gonna put a point here, right? We also max out the spirits, and now, well, we could put more points to Devouring Swarm. Or put a 1 pointer in Phantasmal Blades, right? This would also like give us some more bleeding damage to stack up. Because I think I have some item here that gives me bonuses to that for some reason. Oh yeah, the Headhunter's Trophy, right? So it gives me like more points to Phantasmal Blades. So let's just do that, right? Why not? Oh yeah, also resummon your spirits. There we go. And you could also go back real quick to like put our component back to the weapon. On the other hand, honestly, like these bleeding components, they don't like do that much, right, for you. So what you can also craft is you can also use components that give you resistances, right? You can use components that give you all RoS, like purified salt or imbued silver, but you can also put in your weapons or shield, for example, which have toggles which you can put on here, right? Aether Ward and Void Ward. These will like give you Aether and Chaos resistance on their respective auras as well. Pretty nice, pretty nice.
I'll give you a good price for what we've got left.
No, we don't need this, right? We don't need... Or do we? Wait, is this still like better overall because of like the... No, no way, right? The axe has 61% bleeding damage because of the off-blood suffix. If it didn't have the off-blood suffix, then this one would still be better, right? The Blood Reaper's Claw. Also, the metal you find from the guys from the arena, right? The Brawler's Distinction. If you want, like, you know, more CC resistances, you can just use this right away. It's honestly not too bad right here, right? The stun rest especially, pretty nice. Which is why you should always have like multiple of these augments ready in your stash. Like when you go to Forgotten Gods and buy these, might as well just like buy multiple already. Because then you can like reapply this instantly, right? Also Mark for the Traveler on your boots, really nice. And then we put, I don't know, what do we put here? Like a corpse dust? There we go. Doesn't have sleep RoS. Who the fuck needs sleep RoS? Lol. We can also go back to these guys and talk to these guys. Get the ride since you're gonna need soldier anyway. What? Oh, we already talked to these guys. What am I doing? Oops. Warlord players need sleep RoS. Indeed, indeed. Okay, where am I going? I'm getting lost. The ride reduces the spirit requirement for Ragrathar's Horn. We're not gonna play Ragrathar's Horn, guys. What the fuck? What are you saying? Doesn't Unknown Soldier need like 8 yellows? Yeah, it does. I mean, the ride is not bad for bleed. I mean, how else are you gonna heal as well? Right. Imagine not finishing Elden Ring. Yo, kill a dude, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna finish it at some point. I'm very dead. Only meta builds. I mean, it's what people voted for, right? Like, maybe it's meta as well, yes. I mean, if you want to play Bleed, then Bleed Trickster is, I guess, like the meta build with like spirits and so on. Really should get more points to the Warung's form again, right, for high resistance reduction. For sure. This is like the only bleed Trickster. Nah, there are some others as well. Like Rancor, Severed Reef, doesn't blades. I mean, yes, it's not as good as this one, but it does work as well. Yeah, I mean, it's like a pet build where you like pretend to also deal damage yourself with Phantasmal Blades and the Warung's form, I guess. Yeah, people in the league played this one a lot as well last league, right? Ah, it's pretty good, like, you can't blame them. It is a pretty good bleed build. And honestly, like, the bleed damage type itself, like, it doesn't really have that many builds, right? Like, bleed feels like it has kinda low build diversity. Maybe. The only bad part is sustain, yeah, because you cannot sustain off dots in GRIMTOOLS, so like you have to either find a secondary damage type for sustain, or like use regeneration abilities like Giant's Blood or Dryad, it's like healing you from devotions and so on and so on. But even with that, like it's not as good as like other builds that can just like heal actively with like Last Steal and so on. Shaman is too strong for bleed. I mean, Shaman doesn't have like any actual strong bleeding abilities, it only has the debuff, right? But yeah, the debuff that it has, right, the Warring Swarm is pretty good, right? It does deal, like, it does debuff enemies by a lot, so that is pretty good. Regen sucks, lol. What? Oh yeah, Prime Bonus is insane, that's true. Yeah, Prime Bonus is insane for Bleed. The Shaman exclusive. Like, that's really good as well. Darius Cronley, honestly, he's super easy. Just don't face tank him when he has the bubble up. And like, don't stand inside his Aether Fire. Because if you like also face tank him, right, and he like stacks that on you, the damage will actually also stack from the like individual casts that he does. So it's like the only thing to worry about when you're fighting him. Also, this guy actually drops a pretty nice ring, right, that we can also use, because it has, I think, +3 to Circle of Slaughter, which is gonna be an ability that we're gonna use. Maybe like right about now, right? Since with this ring we get plus skills to it. It is pretty good. Even +3 Blood Pact on top. Wait, is this new? Or has it always been there? I don't even know. So, I guess it's time to remove the resistant copper band of Scorched Ends. Right, there we go. We're gonna lose some resistances here, but I mean, this is way too good to not use it, right? I'm gonna use another like corpse dust, sure, why not? And then put another point here in devotions, and also we're gonna put, yeah, next we just like put a point in Circle of Slaughter like next level, right? That's gonna be what we're gonna do here. Imagine reading patch notes. Is that new? Yeah, imagine reading patch notes, dude. I mean, they've added like some plus skills to some items, mostly faction items I think, but apparently also some MIs, to skills that were rather undersupported earlier. And I guess this is one of them, right? Pretty nice. Every ring now supports the 3 abilities. I mean, it doesn't specify, right? They just said that they like support 3 abilities now. I guess they didn't like say which ones exactly. No, they haven't like added new faction items. They just like added new plus skills to faction items to like support, well, rather unsupported skills more now, which has been nice. I really like it. But I can't like tell you which ones are exactly like supported in what way because I don't know. Like, there's no like list of items, at least not yet. Got Worm's Mark. Oh yeah, I could get that as well, right? True. There's so many items here I could get. It's insane. Alright, where do we put this? Ring of Steel. So, the Circle of Slaughter deals bleed damage, of course, but also helps you with like face tanking, right? Because it adds Fumble. And Fumble means that it's like a debuff that makes enemies miss, right? Miss melee attacks. It's only melee attacks. All monster frequents, rings, and shoulders and torso armor now have bonuses to 3 skills. Nemesis shoulders now support 4 masteries even. It's pretty crazy, right? It's pretty crazy. Note that some items may feature less skill bonuses if you do not own both expansions. Wait, why is that even? Murderous Cowl. Yeah, if you get Murderous like Breastplate and Cowl, those are pretty nice as well from Crony's gang. Maybe you should like farm some Rhythmic or something. Actually, oh, those are super hard to get, right? Because you have to like specifically kill the guys called Murderers, right? I think they only drop from the Murderers guys and like nobody else, which is kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is, right? Alright, time to fight more undead on a bleed build and see how bad this is, right? Nice, okay, right. Not too bad. Like they die, right? It's fine. It is fine. I wanna play it like this, I think. It's fine. Yeah, farming cowls is like... No, that's not something you do, right? It's like... it's not really something you do. It's way too hard to get them. Let me through. What the fuck? In Act 3 you can also get the Wendigo sword. Yeah, it's pretty good. True. Because the monsters they're attached to don't exist. Wait, didn't they say like it's less like plus skills to a certain skill? I mean, yeah, I mean that's obvious, right? I mean, if the skill doesn't exist, then of course it doesn't give you like a skill bonuses to a skill that doesn't exist. But alright, so my AoE right now is just use Circle of Slaughter once, like debuff them, right, to like make them bleed, right, make those skeletons bleed, like, I don't know how that even works, but Yeah. Like squeeze the marrow out of their bones or something. And then like the pets are gonna do the rest, right? Do the remaining job. When he goes claw or barb, I don't actually know. I've never really like farmed those Wendigo items like ever. No. I mean, yeah, cutting out that's still gonna like take a while. Right. The claw. Do I get healed when the guardians proc Maul? Maul rather? Maul has weapon damage, right? Or does it not? If it doesn't have weapon damage, then you don't get healed. If it does have weapon damage, then you do get healed. It's basically that's why you max 1 before spirits. Yeah. I mean, you max like both at this point. Yeah. Get the portal here, we can go back in, because I left the portal inside the Undercity. Some physique here, there we go. And I guess I should also like go back and sell. But open the chest, holy shit. Thank you. Wait, did I really like get 3 of those passages? Don't you usually like get those like passage notes? Like the lore notes, like the 3 lore notes that you need to combine to like get the quest XP. This is like double the armor, right? While still providing me some decent resistances. Same thing here. We don't use that, we don't use that, we don't use that. Explorer's foot guards, did I just get them? I mean, just get them, right? Lol. Just find them, guys. Just get them. Just get like 2-piece Explorers, 8% total speed bonus. It's kinda ridiculous, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, also if you have killed Crony, right, and you got to his like room behind him, always keep the crystal for yourself, then you will get an Aether Crystal. Aether Crystal is a, well, active, or like a consumable rather, that you can put in your bard as well, which will grant you 75% damage absorption for, well, 8 seconds. So it's a pretty nice like panic button, basically. Pretty good, pretty good.
You're back. Need something broken down?
Yeah, like this you already have like max movement speed, right? Okay. Seems good. Does the 75% stack with other sources? Yes, but multiplicatively and not additively, right? So if you have like 25% from another ability, then you won't be immune to damage. It's like 7, like you will still take what? 75% of 25% in damage. Yo, Mergos, welcome, welcome. Buff movement speed. I mean, yeah, buff movement speed cap maybe like I don't know. I think like 140% wouldn't be too bad, right? Like 140% would not break the game. I don't know. I think a cap is good to have, but like 135 is just like so low, dude. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably just like lazy design. I mean, something like an infiltrator could be like really zoomy, right? If you get movement speed from both classes, and then like components. Like, there are too many sources maybe in this game of movement speed, right now at least. I just want to think, in the current state of the game, like having a cap is fine. I still think 135 is like too low, but something between like 140 and 150 would like be totally fine still. Just do it like PoE. I don't know, man. I think that's also bad. At least I personally think so. Like it's not. I don't know. I mean, I guess for hardcore it's kind of balanced because like you can't just like mindlessly stack movement speed. Like, I don't know. It works in PoE. Yeah, it also works in a way that I don't play the game. Like, I don't like playing the game that much. Still drop maybe. I don't know. Or like, rather, I don't like watching other people play the game. I mean, actually, like, that's the main reason why I hate movement speed cap, because I don't like watching other people play the game. At least when they're like playing a zoom build. Oh yeah, also Quicksilver Flask, yeah. I mean, Grim Dawn doesn't have Quicksilver Flask, so like it would be less cancer to remove like a movement speed cap in Grim Dawn than it is in PoE right now. PoE is a good game, but I don't think like PoE is a good game because it doesn't have a movement speed cap. Like, definitely not.
Ah, we speak at last.
Yo, Gazbon, welcome out, next to the follow. An attack and casting speed cap is like a different story because like you get rooted in place when you attack and cast, so. I mean, yeah, it fits the design. I'm not saying like it'll fit Grim Dawn though that well. I feel like the only reason why we have a casting and attack speed cap in Grim Dawn is because of channeling abilities, right? Because of things like Aether Ray or Art of Reckoning, right? Yeah, if you have no cap, you have to like be way more wary about like adding stats to some things. Like, alright, we've got the Shrine down here as well, which we can put to Swarm, and then we need another red, right, to enable Hunters, right? Yeah, we do need this red as well. Okay, so we're gonna need like 5 more points here, and then we can basically get the second resist reduction ability of this build. Yeah, I mean, if you do the League of Legends or whatever like free-to-play approach that pretty much every free-to-play game has, where you like cycle through, like you rotate between like OP and non-OP stuff, then yeah, like not having a cap is good because I don't know. I mean, games like League of Legends or like Path of Exile, they also like kind of live because some things are always OP or like underpowered, right? Like there's always a certain like meta, and like having a meta or like having things be worse or better than others, like in this season or like next season and so on, like keeps the game interesting for people, right? If the game was balanced, like balanced games are, or games like those, like balanced games are actually like more boring, right? And that's how they like have their player retention, but like keeping some things OP or like cycling balance wise between like different things that are OP or not OP, right? Anyway, let's put more points to Devouring Swarm. There we go. Let's get the Shrine, let's get the Devotion point for that Shrine as well, assigned to Huntress. Yeah, there is a mess up. Yeah, that's true though. Like, also Grim Dawn is not a perfectly balanced game. I mean, I don't know if you have like played PoE, but like, sure, Grim Dawn is not balanced, but like compared to PoE, like it's it's a different story. Like it's completely different. In PoE, like if PoE balance was like attached to Grim Dawn, you would have like 5 builds that do like sub 1 minute Crucible builds, and then like other builds that have like 10-minute Crucible runs, right? Like that's like PoE balance in a way, like something that's just like 10 times stronger, right? Maybe it's not as bad anymore. And also to like get to that like sub 1 minute Crucible run, you have to like actually farm a lot more than you ever would have to farm for anything in Grim Dawn, right? And also of course like GD Stash doesn't exist, so people just can't like, you know, get there instantly. Like you can in Grim Dawn you can't really like give chase items, at least in vanilla Grim Dawn, right? They can't really like outside of League environments, like you can't really like give certain items like too much power in Grim Dawn, because there's a certain group that just like, you know, GD stashes anyway. There's really like no sense of like progression to get to that stage for those people, at least. Yeah, exactly. Like in PoE you have items that exist because you're like allowed to have the super OP item that like trivializes the game because you have basically already like beaten the game, right? And I mean in the League, right, we like tried adding some items like that in a way with like the items for the super bosses, because like, say for example, if you're like able to beat Moira, right, then you have basically already like beaten the game, right? Which is like why her sword is like ridiculously strong and so on and so on, right? But yeah, in PoE I guess you can like still get some of those items if you're just lucky, and that's a little ridiculous, I think. Arenea's amulet feels good, man. Yeah. Maybe Arenea as a boss was like a little too easy though for like that amulet. That's why streamer builds always look super broken, because they just get lucky. Oh shit, oh yeah, this guy, right? Wardrock. Basically the end boss of Act 2, if you wanna call him that. You gotta like dodge his slams, and also... yeah, I mean this is a little lucky as well, right? Literally the first... Mistborn Talisman is a relic that you can only get from 2 enemies in the game, right? And we haven't... Like, Voldrag is one of the 2. The other guy is a troll in the East Marsh. And usually you have to like farm for this in Ultimate, because you don't just get it like I do right now. But yeah, I guess we just got it in the first try ever. This is a reset account, Blackjack. Like, this account has no items, no blueprints, nothing. It's a fresh account basically. Everything is reset here. Also, Henry Duong, welcome. Welcome. Farming for Sentinels in my blueprint is fun. Yeah.
Well, if it is,
which is why it's like ridiculously lucky, right? Like, first time like ever killing this guy and we like instantly get the blueprint. It's pretty lucky. Imagine not finding blueprints after 5,000 hours, imagine, right? I do think I have literally every single blueprint on my main account though. I mean, I should have. There aren't like that many in Grim anyway, right? There aren't that many blueprints. I mean, there are quite some, but like not that many. Is next season gonna use this version of Grim Dawn 1.1.9.6? I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, hopefully Zenta is gonna like publish it at some point. Is there anything for bleed down here? I just wonder, like these bone spikes, they don't have bleed damage, right? It's only vitality. But do the bone blades have bleed damage? Maybe. Alright, so down here you wanna kill Ikrix. You wanna find the corpse of Dahlia Taverin, and you wanna do the shrine as well, right? That's kinda like all you have to do here. And I guess we like go back and sell as well. The most empiric build, like most last year, I mean, vitality damage is like generally the lifesteal damage type, I would say. It has more armor, right? Stonehide of the Wolf. Honestly, I don't need the energy that much anymore, right? I don't need to use a caster helmet anymore. I could also just use Anchorite's head guard, right? This is stun RoS, health, DA, chaos RoS. And very good armor. Let's just use it right now, it's fine. What do we put here? This one seems fine, for example, right? I don't want to break my Explorer set this early. I'm gonna like try to keep it for me like another like 10 to 20 levels. And then switch it out later. Like I'll be fine with like having lower armor values in these 2 slots for some time, I think that's gonna be fine. Anyway, components, right? You can always like hover over your item if you have it equipped to like see what kind of components can go on that you have in your inventory. And if you don't like them, like these are kind of trashed right now, right? You can like go to the smith instead and like, for example, this is helm, right? So it's like head, I think. Okay, we can only craft this for head. You can also look for all armor, right? Like this. Use that all armor, and then you can like craft some of these and like put them into like your other armor pieces here. You could also check out faction vendors, once you're friendly with them, apparently they still hate me. But we have done this quest, right? We can like hand this main quest here. It's gonna give me, like get me to respected status here. Which means we can buy these blueprints here as well. Like Aether Soul or Gluttony or Rotten Heart. But I guess none of them like... Where do you get Runestone, by the way? Let's buy this one. And I guess we buy the relics as well. Yo, Art Crusader, welcome, welcome. Wait, oh, the mod, like auto mod, like what? What? Have fun having like 50 Blitz Warlords in the league again because Xanta can't be asked to nerf Fizz. Aren't they removing a lot of the doors from BOC? They have already been removed, yeah. I mean, we have already done that in the season anyway. Like, it's actually a thing that we have done first in the mod, or like Serious Stan rather has done the mod first, and now like Xanta has done it as well. It's pretty cool. You nerf Pierce AR for like no reason. Yeah. Yep. Fuck doors, yeah, dude, the doors and that area were pretty bad, not gonna lie. Alright, we can like also... I mean, no, I don't actually need this right now, right? I have already like capped movement speed and like the heal, if you like only one point, that's kinda low in a way. Okay. Wait, why does Huntress have this node? What? 50% pierce damage, 20 cunning. I guess the cunning scales bleed? That's so weird actually. Yeah, doors on 1.1.9.6 are... Well, not all of them are removed, but like enough are removed, I would say. There's only one... I mean, no, you can't... No, like, you can't go multiple bleed builds. You can do like bleed... what's it called? Like Blade Arc, for example. Like Water, Savagery is fine as well. Like, all of those are fine. It's just... I mean, while leveling, generally, like, bleed kinda is not that great. At least for Act 2. I mean, Water is fine, though. Like you can totally play, like, basically, what's it called? Like, Blade Arc instead of Ring of Steel and Blade Spirits. Not a balance while leveling, then. And to play Savagery, for example, I mean, you need an... Like, okay, for leveling, right, if you wanna... I mean, you can always, like, just play the build and struggle. That's fine, right? But if you wanna, like, even cruise through Veteran, you always will need a monster frequent, right? For example, for Blade Spirits, right, if you don't have this shield, even Blade Spirits are gonna suck, right? If you want to play, like, I don't know, like, focus more on Ring of Steel, I guess you can, like, play Ragnaros Horn. But, I mean, that's obviously worse, because you're, like, literally playing the same class, and also you get this shield, like, way earlier than the offhand. If you're playing, like, if you're not playing Nightblade, right, then you can play Shaman, or, what's it called, Soldier, mostly, right? So, what do you do then? For Shaman, if you want to play Savagery, early on you can play the other like one-hander that I played earlier, right? Which is like fine-ish for Act 1, but not really like that amazing. And then later you play the two-handed like Troll Bone Crusher, right? For which you have to kill trolls, which you will find like at the... you can like fight the one guy in Odakovia and then like the guys in like Smuggler's Pass, right? So, I mean, if you have that though, like it's fine, right? You can like play Bleed Savagery with that, it's fine. But yeah, you also don't get it as early as you get the Shira, that's like a little bit later. And then you have, what, Blade Arc? For Blade Arc you have Kaliska's offhand, I mean Shield rather, which you get from East March, and you have the well, Sandclaw Slicer, let's put a portal here actually. Sandclaw Slicer, if you play physical and you have the Pitmaster's Axe, I guess if you play Bleed. But also, Bleed is also for Blade Arc, I guess, usually better for with a two-hander, right? So you want a two-hander for Bleed Blade Arc. For which I guess there's no MI while leveling. I can't think of any actually right now, at least. Like, it's good later. And it's also fine with, I think, some blues. But you would have to, like, find those blues while leveling, and they're, like, random drops, so... yeah. Siphon Souls is OP now for Bleed, Copium. I don't know what that did. And also like super deep in the tree. I mean, I guess Bleed Spirits are really deep in the tree as well, and they're fine.
Just the person I'm looking for.
Yo, Circle of Life, how you man? Welcome, welcome on. Thanks for the 10 gifted sub. Holy moly. Kuronsky, Bala the real one. Ex-Colonel, Toma, Lord Robane, Kagom, Jesper, Mondo Kairos, Cosmic Whale, and Cocktail Koala. Congratulations on receiving a gifted sub by Circle of Life. Thank you so much, man. How are you doing? Welcome on. Didn't dodge. You didn't even dodge. Wow. At least Bleed with Ritual's now thing. Yeah. I mean, Bleed is always like traditionally, or like was intended to be more of a like hybrid damage type, right? So that's pretty nice. I mean, the Vitality Blood Knight Ritualist has always been a thing, right? And then you just like add some bleed on top of that. I don't know, maybe like they should nerf the Vitality part of Blood Knight setup, but I don't know. I feel like the bleeding part was always kind of underwhelming though, right? I guess now with the bleed buffs, it's maybe like okay or something, I don't know. Oops. I mean, what would be the solution for like bleed damage? I'm really not sure. You could like nerf the spirits a bit. Anyway, so we are in Act 3, right? So Homestead and Pine Barrens. You're like told to go to Homestead, right? We have the portal there. We could go back to Deadman's Gulch and like tell Algrim that we have gotten the portal in Homestead, right? And then there's Pine Barrens, right? This area over here is like basically like a side quest zone, but it's actually pretty nice for leveling. Like you do get 2 devotion shrines here, and there are a couple of quests as well that give you good XP here. So we're just doing this on top anyway, right? Pretty nice. So yeah, you can do this at any point. You don't have to do it right now. You can do it later as well. That's fine too. But I think right now is, honestly, from my experience, like still the best timing, like to get decent experience out of this as well. Because if you do it like at some point later, you're gonna probably be a little bit over leveled for this. It's not that good XP then. And yeah, you do want to go here for the 2 shrines anyway. Like honestly, the 2 shrines are the main reason why you want to go here. Like 2 shrines and like 1 spot like this. It's pretty good. You're still pressing the G. Pressing Lost Ark, playing Lost Ark. I mean, Lost Ark is pretty fun as well, for sure, for sure. So there are like, I think 5 quests in total here, right? You have to kill Mogara, quest number 1. You have to find one of those like poison manticore glands, right? Manticore poison glands, which drop from like basically all the other like bigger manticores here. And you can then go back to the guys and like get your next quest if you don't know what to do next. Or you just go to the next quest instantly, which is we have to go to this area over here, right, to the pine, I mean the shaded basin rather. And then there are 2 caves here. One of them is marked on the map, the other one is not. You want to go to the one that is not marked on the map, and that one has actually a couple of spawn locations. One of them is here. One of them is here. One of them is here, right? We're gonna enter here, and then there are like 1 or 2 others as well. So make sure to not go into the one that is marked on the map, go to the other one, right? You want to go to Bloodbriar's lair first, because there are 2 quests, right? Kill Bloodbriar and kill Ungoliax, and Ungoliax is gonna be in the other cave. However, if you just like go through Bloodbriar's lair, you're gonna enter Ungoliax's cave after this one anyway, so there's like no reason to ever like enter Ungoliax's cave from the outside, unless you for some reason like want to farm Ungoliax and not like you're not doing this quest here anyway. Is Lost Ark also not recording music on my OBS? I have no idea. Nah, I think it was recording the music. I don't think that's like a Lost Ark problem. No idea. Imagine not being Elden Ring Andy. You only had SFX recording? That's weird. No, I definitely had music as well on my playthroughs, like on my recordings on YouTube, for example. Alright, over here we have Ungoliax, right? Kill the spider for the quest, and also there's a shrine next to it, which obviously you always want to get for the devotion point. So let's get that devotion point, like over here, right? Another 60% more bleeding damage, pretty nice, pretty nice. What did they even add in the Wilson patch? I forgot. Or like, what do they like wanna do? I actually forgot. Oh, was it like animation cancelling? Right, it was animation cancelling, right? That's pretty cool. But it's like one of those things you wanna do to a game when it's like a good game and like a successful game, right? Like a game like Wolfson needs something else right now. Like it doesn't need fucking like animation cancelling changes. Like people aren't gonna like play Wolfson all of a sudden just because it has like animation cancelling now, right? Like what the fuck? It's one of those things you either want to like do or change before you even release the game, or when the game is already like big and successful, right? Like right now it doesn't make any sense to do that. You would. I mean, maybe. I don't know. If they do it right, yeah, I guess. I don't know, is like the game like bug free other than that? If it is, then maybe it is actually worth checking out again. Still waiting on Last Epoch multiplayer. Lol. Maybe next year, yeah. Nah, it's gonna be this year for sure, right? Hope you. It might actually be, right? Like, depending on how well the next performance patch performs, right? The next Last Epoch patch is gonna be a performance patch, and that performance patch might be actually huge, also for multiplayer, right? I mean, hopefully it is, right? Alright, we have maxed our Devouring Swarm, right? We have maxed our resistance reduction again. Now, what do we do? The scaling on this is kind of bad. The scaling on this is okay. I guess we max out Circle first. We could also get like points here and here for more defense, right? Phantasm armor for like armor, pierce thrust and so on. Or like this one for like total speed reduction. I think for now we just want like more damage. I mean, you have like really good damage actually right now. Right, like around level 30 is usually when your build like starts working. If you made it, like if you built it correctly. Right, as you can see, right, with like steamrolling trash with like 1 Devouring Swarm or like 1 Circle Slaughter like cost. Right, they're just all down to the blade easily right now. And against bosses, we just like use Phantasm Blades on top, and we're like deal really nice damage, I think. Should be good, should be very good. Next patch will solve climate change. Alright, so Bleed Spirits, and this stuff, and look at this health bar, right? It's going down pretty quickly. Pretty nice, pretty nice. We also got a Incorruptible Blood Feast's Mark of Fortitude. Incorruptible is a prefix that is really good late game. While leveling it's not quite as good because the values of these resistances that you get are rather low, right? Like, what are those, 9%, 6%, 5%? That's pretty low. But yeah. Still a decent metal, right? Gives you bleeding damage, and also like, I mean, it could enable Blade Trap, I guess. But Blade Trap is an ability that only like works against trash. It doesn't work against bosses because they're like usually immune to trap. Like Blade Trap only deals damage if you also actually trap the enemy. If you don't trap the enemy, you don't deal any damage. So it's kind of questionable here, honestly. Still, certainly a metal that's worth considering, right? Let's go and sell real quick. Yo, Toma, welcome on. Lowest Incorruptible roll you've ever seen, yeah. Yep. I mean, this is way better if you're playing a Witch Hunter, right? If you're playing a Witch Hunter, and you also make use of the bleeding damage to Bloody Pox, it's pretty nice. Why does it not even, like, add bleeding damage to the, like, Blade Trap? I don't get it. Oh well. Okay, we have a ton of quests here right on the side, like way too many. We can like go back to the guys in Old Arcovia, for example. Over here, Quaid. This guy, right, here, found some texts, cool. Talk to Eva, right. At the Royal Jelly cost, sure. You also get a blueprint to like craft these Royal Jelly ointments. Pretty helpful actually, especially for like endgame. We go and talk to Algram. And over here and here. Then we go to Pine Barrens, back to the guys that have the quests for the entire Pine Barrens area. So we hand in the quests to these guys, right? There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right, 5 quests done in a row. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I think I want to put a point here and maybe like a point into... Yeah, more points in the Circle of Slaughter, right? There we go. I'm trying to theorycraft a Pierced Paladin, but there's no Fist to Pierce conversion apart from the Conduit, so it doesn't even do global.
These are...
Wait, which skill though? Wait, which Conduit are you talking about? 8th Array or... Wait, no, 8th Array is Templar if you're doing Pierce. I guess you're talking about the shield. Yeah, I mean, you need armor piercing, right? Like, you use armor piercing, in your weapon, and then you can convert all the skills that have % weapon damage list to pierce, like physical to pierce. You cannot convert skills that don't have weapon damage though, right? Unless it has like that locally on the weapon. I mean on the like skill modifier, like for example 8th Array or... Yeah, it's kind of only the case for 8th Array, I think. I don't know what kind of like build you're trying to make, but... Physical to piercing as a conversion type doesn't exist because armor piercing is literally that, right? Like it only exists on like very very specific mods on skills, or like 4 skills that don't have % weapon damage, because you don't need conversion on them otherwise, because well, that's what armor piercing is for, right? Yo, Beer Danska, welcome, welcome. This reminds me I should like make another GRIMTOOLS link for the spot right now, right? We're at about 32 already. Kind of zooming here. Let's make a new like GRIMTOOLS here, right? There we go. For level 32. Let's make sure my build. No Trickster in the rip list? Not yet, at least. Doesn't even have Gutworm's mark. No. Only have Blood Feast's mark right now. What does Gutworm do again? Isn't it like... Oh yeah, it is +3 Circle of Slaughter, right? That's pretty good. Maybe we should go and farm him real quick. So Gutworm is an enemy that, like a boss, like a mini boss that that like spawns in Act 1, right? I could have done it here. I kind of missed this opportunity, right? You can, I mean, you can like kill him actually at any point in Act 1. You can kill him safely on Veteran Hardcore, like after defeating Warden Krieger, I would say. He spawns in a cave that has like 3 spawn locations, right? Spawn location number 1 is like somewhere here, and then there's others like here and here or something like that, right? Let's see if we can find him. If you are struggling to find him, like to find his cave, you can also go to the GRIMTOOLS.com/map website, and then it will like show you all 3 locations where he can spawn. I mean, this is one of them, right? We found it like first try here. Now the problem is that I'm like too high level, so this guy is probably... Actually, he does scale pretty well, right? He's still like level 37, and that's good scaling actually. I thought it's gonna be like maybe underleveled now, like he's gonna be underleveled, but he's fine scaling now, actually. Interesting. Also, he deals some damage, right? Like, don't get hit. You are a bleed build, so you can kite very well. Abuse that. Okay, there we go. You got his item as well. Gutworm's Mark of Protection, +3 to Circle of Slaughter. Also % bleeding damage. I mean, overall, certainly better than the Blood Feast's Mark, which gave me +3 to Devouring Blades, which is like this ability over here, which is better for Vitality, but not that good for Bleed, right? So we use this. We put another of these like emblems of the Charging Bull here, and then we can, for example, considering my low Elementarus, craft a Ward Stone, right? A Ward Stone from the
I'll give you a good price for that.
That you can craft from the guy here, right? From the smith. Wardstone, there we go. Put it on the metal. Wardstone also gives you movement, like movement speed, right? We have like way too much movement speed right now, it's crazy. Imagine not having a movement speed cap of 135 in this game. Oh well. Yeah, that's like basically gives me like more points to Circle of Slaughter, which is pretty amazing. Lots of damage there. I also go back to Nova actually and hand out this quest. This quest will give me an attribute point as a reward, so you should like never miss this one actually. What am I doing? First beginner build to also do crate. I mean, this build can kill crate for sure, right? If you build it properly and game, if you like pilot it properly as well. But I'm not gonna. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like push that far on this build. I do want to play the rituals as well at some point. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I do actually wonder as well if you can do it like with consistent SSF gear that you just like get from like, well, most of recruits or like faction gear and like, because like blue items, I mean, some of them you get like really easily, but they're still like random, so you might not get them. You also did it on a budget Trickster in the league? Yeah, I mean, can certainly be done. Yeah. Here in this hive, you can't skip the first area actually, like you can skip the first den. But you always want to go to the skittering den, because there's another area that is connected to this one, over here, and you want to go over there. Thread of Mortality. I mean, the buffed Thread of Mortality is really nice, right? Probably. And yeah, here we can fight Golem, I mean Golos. But he didn't drop his precious. What is this? No. Oh well, I mean there's also a shrine here, right? Can start the shrine. Actually his buff, I mean his ring got buffed recently, right? It has like Pierce Thrust now as well, right? God's ring also has Pierce Thrust now. Which is pretty insane. I mean, Pierce Thrust is not the most important, I would say, like the best to have in a ring like that, but it's not bad. Not bad to have it either. From what I've seen, the new Thread of Mortality seems to be pretty strong, like a pretty strong replacement for Vindictive Flaming Unit, right? I mean, losing +3 max trust might hurt though. Depends on like what enemy you're fighting. Season 4 suggestions, you know how to do riddles to farm goals. More riddles, Monka. Alright, we should have enough points to get the devotion finally, right? Yeah, of course. Where do we put this on, like, PB? No, you wanna put this on... I think you actually wanna get Grasping Vines for that, probably. Like, Grasping Vines might suck as a skill, but it's pretty good to, like, apply devotions, right? You lost both your girls' rings of memory. Wait, why did you lose them? What happened? Oh, because your saves are deleted? Oh, your character just died? Okay. Whoops. Do I make this even more for me, or do I try to get +1 aura skills in the relic? I mean, I don't know what you're talking about even. It's actually not too bad to have the Huntress on Phantasmal Blades. I mean, you have a 68% chance to proc this, but it's per blade, right? Like, each blade, and we have like 3 blades right now. So you're kind of guaranteed, right? 3 times 68% is not too bad. Kind of like guaranteed to like hit it, like to proc it like every single time. Okay, meme it is. Oh, there's a totem here as well, and the Gruesome Harvest. There we go, another Aether totem. Aether Warped, Ancient Aether Warped. It's gonna be pretty hard again, right? Like lots of... You know, like the one in Act 1 that we had where we like struggled? Let's see how much we like struggle here anymore. We're gonna like just... not struggle, I think. But we'll see, right? Yeah, like... oh my god, this damage is pretty unreal right now. Yep. That's level 30 plus damage when you get your build together, right? Slightly better than before. I mean, you could also just run away, right? That's the thing, right? You could also just run away on top, but you don't even have to anymore. You just kill stuff. And face tank. For now. We will have to kite later again with an ultimate difficulty, I guess. But until then, this should kind of steamroll now. Any bleeding eye would do this? No, definitely not. Definitely not. You could literally play Blade Trap and it would look the same. Okay, what do we have here? We put more points to what? To this, right? Circle of Slaughter. Talk to Captain Sommer down here. Oops.
My scouts have reported.
Friend of the Black Legion, yep.
Just the person. There are 2 other.
Talk to the emissaries. Who do we sign with, guys? I have no idea. Who do you want to sign here with? I don't think it really matters for the spell, does it?
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left. See you around.
What about Rover's reputation? Can we buy like the runestone from them? Why not use Rend on Grasping Vines? Well, because we don't have access to it yet, but we can work on that now actually. Yeah, we don't need more points here. Sorry. Right.
Come see what's left of my wares.
Yeah, never mind. We don't have enough reputation here either yet. Feels bad, man. Maybe later.
I have come to
Comment chosen. I mean, yeah, it really doesn't matter, I think. It's fine to go either way. Totally fine. Do you want Bolvar's Amulet, by the way? No, right. Do you want Zarya's Amulet? No. We want like +1 Nightblade, right? How do we get +1 Nightblade? We get +1 Nightblade from a craftable belt from the Black Legion, I think. For which we need like a little bit more reputation. We get +1 Nightblade on a relic that we can vendor farm later in Act 6, I guess. Oh yeah, this is the act where you need Chaos RoS. Like you will start needing Chaos RoS a bit, right? I somehow have like casual 83% Chaos RoS, so that's kind of good, I guess. If you want more Vitality Resistance as well, which is good against these Chthonians, you can also use more of these Soul Shards, right? These are pretty nice as well. To put on your, say, like rings. Elena's Amulet. Yeah, we can actually just go for Elena's solely for the +1 Nightblade, right? It doesn't give me any bleed damage, but I mean, I don't think any other like Amulet does that either, right? Dual shield. Did you get a second Bleed Spirit shield? Yeah. Bloodbriar. I didn't get it right, I didn't get it, no. And the thing is, right, what you want to do is you want to get Blade Spirits, the skill, to 24 points, right? That's like the most important thing here, right? To get Blade Spirits to 24 points, because if you get it to 24 points, then you get 3 and not only 2 spirits, right? So +1 Nightblade is better than +3 Circle of Slaughter because of that, right? And you can get like maxed out Circle of Slaughter super easily anyway, right? You get like another, like a second Chrono Ring, and that's it, right? Like, it's already at 18 points, right? Like, oh, it can only like go up to 22. Yeah, the Mammoth Blade Seal, right? You get that like one twice later, once you're like at Mammoth. It's like easy +4 Blade Spirits. It's insane, actually. Can you get to 24 points with 494? I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, maybe not, but I'm pretty sure you can. We're getting scammed. She's trying to eat us smoke. Undead are immune to bleed, by the way, right? Undead are immune to bleed, by the way. It's kind of hard without Reaper Pants. Oh yeah, that's true. Reaper Pants are actually huge. That is true, that is true. Missing a buff now. Or am I? I'm actually not using Bogdrogen's Pact nor Veil Shadow right now. Nor Pneumatic Burst. I mean, all of those are good abilities, but you don't need them yet, I think. I mean, you need them like way earlier usually on other damage types, but not bleed. I don't think you actually need them right now. The Whale of Shadows. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We need a Chthonic Seal of Binding for this one. Huh. You get Chthonic Seal of Bindings from these like cultists, right? Also, what you have to do here in the Blood Grove is you have to find the farmers. And if you're siding, there we go, there's a seal. If you're siding with Kamen's Chosen, you also want to kill a boss in here called Bolvar. And you also want to find like 5 Black Legion insignias, right? Before you haven't done all of that stuff, you don't want to like exit this Blood Grove basically, right? Okay, there's another insignia in here, right? There we go. There is also a Chaos Rift that can spawn in this area, which is, for now, I would say entirely optional. You don't have to go inside it. I mean, if you want to explore, I mean, sure, like, just always do it, right? Like, exploring is big in this game, so, yeah, okay. You can just do it, right? It's fine. Yeah, I'd probably like 1 point. I mean, I did have Pact earlier. As long as you're not struggling with energy, I would say Pact alone is pretty useless, right? What is good about Pact, if you're not struggling with energy, is the Oak Skin, mostly, right? The armor and Pierce and Aether Rest that you get for free here is pretty nice. And Heart of the Wild is also very good later, because, well, it's like percent health and percent scaling is always better later than while leveling. So like, I want to like 1 point, 1 point, and then like at least 10 points lost, right? Like 1, 1, 10 for now. But until I get to Oak Skin, I'm not gonna even like bother putting points here, I think. Yo, Nico Guard, yes. Bienvenido, welcome on, welcome on. From Colombia, new player, trying to improve with my videos. Glad you liked them. Glad you liked them, and welcome on, welcome on. Glad you like the content. Alright, so what do we do now? We have arrived at the Blood Grove Rift. Now you can do like 2 things, right? If you're siding with Kamen's Chosen, then you can just go into Fort Heron, which is to the north, like northeast from here. If you are siding with the Vigil, you will have to like do a couple of quests before going here, and then you have to go to the Stonewall Quarry, which is, well, to the right here, right to the east here. But yeah, we're not doing that, we're doing the other one, right? So we go to Fort Heron. What relic am I planning on using? Late game, probably you want to go like the Shaman one, right? Massacre, whatever it's called. I don't actually know what it's called actually. But that's like a random drop, right? So while leveling, I guess you just go like the +1 Nightblade, tier 2. I think it's called Slaughter or something like that. Because you can like farm that one basically from the vendor in the Mammoth outskirts. I mean like in Mammoth Seacap rather, right? Seacap. Yeah, like Slaughter is gonna be like the one for, yeah, like basically Slaughter into Massacre, right? You just use like a random tier 1, like Equilibrium for example is totally fine, like just gives you like resistances and movement speed. And then you want Slaughter, like once you can buy it from the Mammoth faction basically, in Act 6, and then after that, like the only upgrade, like the only real upgrade is just Massacre, right? I mean, I guess if you want to like be more defensive, you could also like go for Serenity if you get it. But other than that, Slaughter is fine. Or you can even use Slaughter to craft Massacre later. That's perfect. Yeah, it's actually totally perfect. Do I know if chilling rounds on a devotion proc means 3 times the chance to proc because it shoots 3 times? I mean, it should, yeah. I think so, yes. Easy 24 out of 16 Blade Spirits before Mammoth Rings. Fetid Mask plus 1 all skulls, Elena's Necklace plus 1 all skulls, Mammoth Bladed Girdle plus 1 all skulls, plus 2 Blade Spirits on the Bismiel Night Shroud chest guard, and then Scarab Shell and Slaughter it. Okay, so we just need to like side with Bismiel. You can also use the like Black Legion belt instead of the Mammoth belt, right? And we need a 75 Fetid Mask. Wait, you can't get there without a 75 Fetid Mask? That's kind of late then, right? Like level 75. And I guess you could get like a lucky plus Blade Spirit affix on a green as well, right? Before that. And then you can basically get there once you have like the relic from Mammoth, right? Also, I need more Vitality Resistance here, like I really need more. Because these Chthonian Harbingers have a lot of the thing that's called Resistance Reduction, which is like a big thing in this game, right? The Spectrum Miasma debuff, like... Look at my Vitras, right? Like, this is ridiculous, like minus 29%. What is this? Serenity, yep. Dryad, yep. Arcanum Dust, yep. Reckless Special, yep. Like, for example, we can remove this, right? We don't need these emeralds anymore, right? They're kinda useless now. We can put a Soul Shard here instead. Do the same here, right? Soul Shard here as well. And we're up to 79%. Vitras, that's a lot more than before, yep. What do we put here now? I mean, you could craft something or just put this for like 100% armor absorption, right? It's not too bad either. We also found this Doom Forged breastplate, right? Which is honestly not too bad, right? It also has Vitras. And more armor, right? Could also go for this one. Shrewd of Dreeg's Gaze. Cunning, Vitras, Bleedras. I mean, let's take this one actually. Has even more armor, right? I mean, I'm like wasting one ancient armor plating here, but that's fine, I guess. I think it's also time to get rid of my Headhunter's trophy, right? Because this one is kind of falling off right now. Yeah. And this means also that we're getting rid of Phantasma Blades, which means that we're gonna put a point to Devouring, I mean not Devouring Orb, what's it called? Grasping Vines, right? Yeah, we get rid of this, which means we have to get rid of this proc here as well. And now we remove the Phantasma Blades and we go for Divines. And Divines... where did we even put it? What the fuck? Like this, I guess? Okay. And then we put Divines on the Huntress, and this will proc it like overall way better than the Phantasma Blades did, right? It's pretty good. Okay, now we've done these quests, including Fort Heron, right? Which means we're gonna go back to Bloodgrove Riftgate and go to the west, right? Southwest into north. Which means we... Wait. Oh, I was already here. What am I doing? Oops, I just went back, right? I did clear the Grier's Mill, right? I did do that, at least. Yeah, when I clear the mill, and then after the mill you go, like, north. So since we're already... since we have already done that, we just go, like, straight north now, right? Seems good. There's a second node on Vines, stacked with Weight of Shadow. Attack speed slow you in. It should, right? Like, one is This one like is minus % total speed. This one is reduced attack speed. Like, this is basically like flat minus %, right? And this is minus X%. I mean, this is like flat % reduction, and this is minus X%. So they're like different like debuff types. I think they should stack. I mean, slow RoS would be the RoS against it, right? I assume bosses have slow RoS, yeah. I mean, slow RoS also helps against minus total speed, yeah. What is the skill disruption that they have? Holy shit, it's crazy. Minus speed is not affected by slow RoS? What? How not? It's the same as plus total speed. Wait, but if you get slowed... What? I mean... What? I mean, if you have plus total speed on your character and you get slowed, you get reduced, like, speed, right? Right? I don't get it. We found a Blood Reaper's Cleaver though, which, I mean, just like the claws, level 20 item, so it's like kinda bad right now. But those are different stats. I mean, technically you're right. But I mean, slow RoS already also like reduces debuffs to attack speed, casting speed, and movement speed. So I don't see why it shouldn't also reduce debuffs to total speed. Okay. I mean, the Ravager argument is a pretty good one though. I mean, Veil of Shadow is like very good, yeah, for sure. Happy Ramadan. Oh yeah, happy Ramadan. Silverstein, welcome on, welcome on. Indeed, indeed. Where do we go? What do we do? We just push Shaman, right? We want to go for Prime Bond and Oakskin, and maybe also actually the Totem here to heal more and like have like higher % bleed damage. I mean, I could like use Shadow Strike all this time, right, to like move around quicker. Like, what am I doing? Well, like, why am I not even like using Shadow Strike as a one pointer? Hello? Come on. What am I doing? I'm like going slow on purpose right now. Like, I'm up until now, I was going slow on purpose, I guess. Alright, we're entering like zoom territory now with this Shadow Strike on top. I mean, compared to PoE, this is still like turtle mode, but yeah, I mean, Widow Shadow is a really good skill. That is really nice, really good, really good. Always has been, right? Always has been. Alright, there's a boss here called Keras, and we can just use our abilities as long as we have like good Chaos and Vitality resistances, right? We should be fine, like just stack the bleed and stage 1 down. Make sure to have Grasping Vines below him, right? Apply Ring of Steel, apply a Devouring Swarm, and that's all you have to do, right? And he's down. Seems good. Fish for crits. Yeah, I mean, you could also... Yeah, I mean, you do wanna reapply your Ring of Steel at least like every time it's like off cooldown, because you wanna fish for crits, I guess. That is true. And for Blade Spirits you can't like really influence that, and the other two like Swarm and Grasping ones deal like no damage anyway themselves, so it's like not that important. Nice boss fight. I mean, bleed is always ramping up, right? So like your kill times don't seem that great early, because you need to like ramp first, right? This is insane elemental rust, right? We're only losing chaos rust, which is like already maxed anyway. We gain bleeding damage. We gain +2 phantasmal blades again, but I don't know if I want to switch back to PB again. I don't think so right now.
When the Legion was forced to a blitz, I've already...
You're here. Good. We have much to discuss.
With decay Omega Low. The best dot for leveling? Certainly not with decay, right? Certainly not that one. I don't know even. What is good for leveling? Like a dot. Electrocute is good, I guess. Like totems. Wind Devil totems, right? That's fine. Also, of course, Cocktail, right? Like Burn's really nice. I mean, yeah, Burn and Electrocute, I guess, are the best. Let's go to Commons Chosen. And that's actually gonna be it, I think, for me for this episode then. Like, Act 1, 2, 3, and like a little bit of Act 7 is what we did here. I think next episode we're gonna do like, yeah, basically everything else in normal, right? So like 4, 5, 6, and 7. Like the rest of 7 at least. So that we have like done basically normal in like 2 episodes here, and then we're gonna move over to Elite on this guy. Do the skip at least. Match. Alright, we can show people the skip if they want to see it. I don't know if like showing the skip to like a new player is that a good of an idea. I mean, why not, right? Why not? Let's just do it. So, for the skip to work, you have to probably reset the game here though, right? And also let's get my anti-venom salve on my belt, right?
Let's take a look, shall we?
Keep add-on. Put it on the belt, yep. What do I have on my helmet? I don't even have anything here, right? I still need the runestone component, which we have to buy, I think, from either Homestead or Rovers, and these aren't respected yet, so I can't buy it yet. Feels bad, man. What about Black Legion, by the way? Can we... No, we can't buy the belt here either yet. Okay, let's reset the game here. And then you can... I mean... If you're a new player, right, you should really not do this, because you should, like, learn all the maps, check out the maps, play the game, right, enjoy the game. You should not skip it like this. But since chat is asking for it right here, we can, like, do it, I guess. Why not, right? So there's a mob down here. I'm not gonna explain this, there's gonna be a video guide for this anyway out there. By the time this video is out on YouTube, I guess, anyway. So, yeah. I'm not gonna explain this really. You could just watch the other like video if you wanna like know how this works. Wee. 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 Alright, we got to this shrine here. We can also just pick up the shrine here basically. Alright, there we go. Alright. What do we even go for next when it comes to devotions? What does the GRIMTOOLS say here? So I mean, for bleeding devotions, right, you want to go for Mokjogen the Wolf, of course, right? Down here, Mokjogen. And then you also want to go for Unknown Soldier, right? And also, for flat resistance reduction, you want to get something like Revenant, Razor Dead, Manticore, Acid Spray, or Tip the Scales, right? Tip the Scales needs 8 yellows, this one needs 8 yellows, this one needs 15 purple and 12 green, this one also needs 15 purple, right? So you want 15 purple, 12 green and 8 yellows. That's kind of like what you want to aim for. Also 3 red at least for Huntress. Now I was like have a Theocraft like prepared here, and we need to like get some filler devotions I think next year. We can like start with a Night Talon for example, to get some purples, right? We could also go for Owl to like reduce the damage that we take when we get reflected, right? Like when the bleed damage gets reflected. So Owl is pretty good. Has like very nice stuff for dots in general. We could go for Lion to like start working on the yellows. I think just getting to Mokjogen is probably the best thing, right? So we go for something like Owl, and then Night Talon and Quill, for example, to get the greens as well. Yeah. And then for additional greens, maybe the Lotus as well. I guess Owl is fine for now, right? I think Owl is like overall better value than Night Talon, right? Because of like the defensive stuff you get here as well. That's the note. Fox is also good for greens. Yeah, Fox is also good for bleed in general. I don't think it fits this build that well though. I think once, like first of all for like some efficiency reasons, and second of all because like the flat bleed and flat loves is generally better on a build that uses like heavy weapon damage for like bleed application. For example, like for Blade Arc, this should be way better than for what I'm doing right now, right? This is great for Blade Arc. Yeah, instead of Quill, you can also of course like play Toad, right? Toad and Quill are like kind of like interchangeable. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode 1. Thanks so much everybody for watching as well on YouTube. And I catch you around hopefully in the next one. Also sorry for my voice being a little like rough today. I don't know, my throat is kinda I don't know. Hopefully I'm not getting sick, dude. Like it would be kinda bad now. Anyway, thanks for watching.